Good morning, Cooterville. Thank you for joining me this lovely Saturday morning. It is Saturday. It is Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday, November 29th, 2025. Welcome in and welcome back. Thank you, Penny Farthing, for gifting 5 Cooterships. Cheryl, Tomfoolery, SW, Bama, and A. Vamos. Welcome into Cooterville.
She says, welcome
Close
to
your legs.
Cooterville. Everybody
Close
close
your
your
legs.
leg. Everybody coming in, close your legs.
Close your legs. Hi, Ontario. I love Ontario. I actually used to live right across the river from Ontario. Welcome in. Hi, Wiaka. Hi, Cindy Arnold. Stay warm today. Crash, good to see you, Callie. Miss Tempest is doing cartwheels. Close them legs, baby. Hi, Miss Jess. Good to see you. Thank you moderating for this morning, Angie B. God, there's Pines. Pines, you're finally on time. Tick tock.
I did get choked.
So what's up? Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving and Black Friday and all that stuff? Anna, you're from Ontario as well. Nice. I love my Canucks. Hello, Monica C. Monica C is stalking me with them eyeballs. Dr. Macy, good morning. Crazy Mom lives in Detroit. Nice. Nice. My old stomping grounds. Oh, this is going to be painful. Oh, it won't be. It won't be. We're going to make it fun. Melissa Hart is here to make it fun. And we had another member join today. We had Brenda Peacock. Come on down. You are the next contestant in Cooterville. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys. Hello, Autumn. Coming in from snowy northern Illinois. Taylor, Michigan in the house. Home of Joe C. Straight out of the streets of Taylor. Joe C. I spent my Black Friday listening to you on the road. I didn't buy anything on Black Friday. Isn't that weird? You got your snacks? All right, sounds good. Hi, Lotus. All right, so today, Kane's Nana in Wisconsin. Don't you know? We are reading. We're going to start to read. I don't know if we're going to get through all of it. There are 296 pages. Hey, Lisa Smith. Taylor, Michigan. That's where your bio dad was from? Joe C. used to hang out at the Little League games. Nice. Straight out of the streets of Taylor. Leo 1222. I'm in rare form. Hello, Proud Fur. I'm repping good old Salt Lake City, just like Lauren Matthias. Dr. Macy representing the SLC. I love when I see other people from Metro Detroit in the chats. Me too. They're my people. Western New York. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be going through. You bought the grandson stuff? Oh, I did that prior. I did a little shopping before Black Friday. But anyways, all right, let's get into it, guys. We have Escaping Emotional Abuse by Lauren Matthias. My Healing Journey. And we're just going to start reading and we're going to talk as we read through, okay? So if you do send a super chat or become a member or send memberships, I will stop periodically and we will go through those. I don't practice Santa Clara. I don't got no crystal ball. Oh, I have an update on Trisha's backdrop. Web Sleuth. The 8-ball is gone. The 8-ball is no longer in the owl vase. She has now gotten rid of the 8-ball. It's just the owl vase. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I don't know what she's doing. She got rid of the Ouija, replaced it with the vase and the 8-ball. Now the 8-ball gone, and it's just the owl vase. Hello, Emilio. Good to see you. Miss Jess. She moved the Ouija board. Now she's moved the 8-ball. It's gone. It's gone. Happy Saturday to y'all. Cindy says she's listening to you. They all are. Well, welcome in, Lauren and Grayson. I hope it wasn't too early for me to be starting. I know in Nevada, it's a little bit earlier. Salty, thank you for your super sticker. Because you and Jolene are... Jolene was fucking hilarious last night. I watched her entire stream and I was like, oh my God, she's picking up on the same shit I did. Did you guys watch Jolene? Put a 1 in chat if you watched Jolene. Jolene. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but her name makes me want to just belt it out every time I hear it. Here, we'll get my picture up there so you guys know I actually exist. I'm here. This is me today. You missed the pine paneling and the cat trees. She gave me a shout out yesterday too. She's so kind. I really like Jolene. She's funny as hell. A lot of you guys already watched her. That's awesome. Well, Crimes, we're going to have to get you her channel. Hi, Miss Me. Yeah, it was really funny. We picked up on a lot of the same things. But her breakdown of how, in all seriousness, and how Lauren is grooming Grayson to take the fall. Did you guys think that that was spot on? I mean, everything in that body cam, she was like turning it towards Grayson like, oh, my producer is in tears. My producer can't handle this. And then she's scrolling through the videos and she's like, my producer. Oh, here's the video of her crying. I was like, wow, she is being set up to take the fall big time. The discard phase, Callie. Yes. Oh, Isla says that Trisha took her 8-ball down and her dog knocked it off the table and it broke. I think that's bad luck to have 8-ball fluid spill in your home. Yeah, I don't think it'll end well for Grayson either. And Dr. Macy, I agree. That was spot on analysis of what she's setting the stage for. I can't believe the cop entertained them for that long. Me too. Me too. I mean, he did a good job with them. I'm not going to, bash the cop for doing his job because he was doing his job. And I think that he knew if he didn't get something done, that these two bitches were not giving up. Oh, so the 8-ball and the Ouija board both broke? Oh, what bad luck she has. She might want to, get blessed or something. Snippins thinks that Lauren's relationship with Grayson is very strange. I agree. Lauren is putting a lot on a girl who doesn't have the emotional capacity to handle it. And I thought it was really interesting, too. Jolene kept pointing out, look at all the youngsters behind you. Look at all the youngsters behind you on the scooters having fun, laughing. And you're over here dealing with this 45-year-old woman's drama online. I mean, she had really good points. I actually hope Grayson listens to it. I don't feel sorry for Grayson, but I do think that she needs to wisen up and she needs to hear it from somebody. Unless, of course, there's more to their relationship, and she actually has a role. You think there's a nasty divorce coming for them? Unless their relationship is way deeper than what we know, right? Well, I hope that this book gives us a little more insight into our analysis, if you will, and the way that we've been breaking down Lauren's behavior in all seriousness. Oh, Pines says this is not the first time Grayson has been used in litigation by a mommy figure. Really? If those two things are broke, you need an exorcism. Crimes, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's a little concerning, right? Hi, Evelyn. This is interesting. Melissa Hart. When I used to watch Trisha, she used to have a haunted doll, but she supposedly sent it to somebody. It was really creepy and would do weird things when she was online. Ugh. No, I think Turtle Boy's drama is about like an ex or something. I don't know. I don't care about his personal life. Salty, does Grayson have a contract? I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Jess. It's so good to see you again. Veronica says thank you for covering her book so we don't have to waste money. She sent the doll to Stacy, the insightful one. Oh, Lord. Good morning, Crow. What's up, Hawkeyes? All right, you guys ready to start reading and see where this journey takes us? Thank you for joining me today. Please hit the like button. Yes, Veronica, they're both liars. And let's start reading. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Boop. All right, here we go. Escaping Emotional Abuse. My Healing Journey by Lauren Matthias. And here's a picture from her nuptials. I am not afraid of my truth anymore, and I will not omit parts of me to make you comfortable. Alex L. I have no idea who Alex L is, but apparently this is from her first marriage. Cindy, I'm a little scared too, but I'm doing it with y'all, so I feel good being with you guys. Hey, Ranny. So this says Emily Brown Photography, LaurenMatthias.com. So this was copyrighted in 2019 by Lauren Matthias. Printed in the United States of America. First printing 2019. Then you see our website. Dedicated to my Aunt Ruth Ann. Although you're gone, your presence is felt every day. Thank you for helping me to find the courage I need to believe in the life I always hoped for. Without your example, lessons, and love, this book would never exist. You continue to inspire me every day, and you are sorely missed. I think she's named after her Aunt Ruth Ann. Her middle, I think she goes by like Ruthie Ann or something in her prior blog. Yes, this is Lauren. See how pretty she was before she messed with her face? Ooh, canary. That's kind of creepy. I know, Ruthie. She says, no, it's my name. Thank you for subscribing. I'm allegedly obsessed with Wong Crime.
I'm being cyber stalked.
Acknowledgements. To my husband, who has supported this book from the beginning, and when it was merely an idea and a series of blog posts, you offered me the space and compassion to honestly tell my story. You have stood back and let me grow into the strong woman I am today. He didn't have a choice, okay? Dr. John didn't have a choice but to take a back seat and become house dad John. I mean, he really didn't. Most importantly of all, I thank you for your endearing love. Beyond all else, this book is my love story, of which you are the largest part. Dr. Seuss. Okay, so these are all the things we're going to go through today. I'm not going to read through them. Maybe I should. Okay. A prayer for my resilient heart. On friendship, strength through loss. Searching for my lighthouse in the storm. Leaving for a new story. Traveling through the waves of shame. Desire is obsessive. Love is respectful. Do I deserve love? I am not who you see. A scream for my sanity. Editing my regrets. Dreams don't die. They're just dismissed. Lists for my life. Daring to fly. Expressing gratitude for your stories. Foolish love. Breathing fire. Ode to Ruth Ann with love and gratitude. Lessons on repeat. One step away. Sinking in self-doubt. Dating with new eyes. Shifting beliefs. Boundaries crossed. Discovering hope. Believing in love again. Facing triggers. Discovering no contact. And finding my happiness. And then about the author. A prayer for my resilient heart. Photo, March 2013. All right. Now we're getting into the actual meat and potatoes of this one. The day before my husband was served divorce papers, I said a prayer. I was curled up in bed feeling so alone. I was scared, ashamed, had deep anxiety, embarrassment, sadness, hurt, anger, and I prayed. I was trying to breathe, trying to remember what was going to get me through this nightmare, and trying to remember how to have hope. Excuse me. I wrote my words down, and today they still resonate. January 15th, 2015, a prayer of gratitude and desire. Thank you for my warmth in this bed and apartment. Thank you for your life experiences that have given me bigger, brighter eyes. Thank you for my adventurous spirit and happiness. Thank you for the gift of feeling deeply, even with the pain that comes with it. It allows me to taste life in its array of flavors, people, places, and hearts. Thank you for a job I love as a reporter. I am grateful it is creative and different every day, that it's exciting, chaotic, and can help those whose stories need told. Thank you for friends. Thank you for the girlfriends I have found throughout my entire life. As a woman who loves deeply, my friendships carry me and give me encouragement to continue forward. Thank you for love, come and gone, for love that is difficult and painful too, for love that evolves and helps us learn, for love that is God. It lessens the fear. Thank you for giving me the ability to love many, and for many who have loved me. Love can be messy and tricky, but without it, there is no life. Thank you for the examples, the stories, the lessons, the travels, and for my family and those who came before me that lived their truth and spoke their truth. Thank you for the empathy and love. Thank you for the opportunity to be born in a time where we can travel, communicate, and learn about our world like never before. Help me to know, understand, and love every person. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, First Amendment. Oh, whoops, that's not in there. With control, I'm only limited to my own vision, thoughts, and ideas. I'm so grateful to be free. Help me to always listen to others' truths. I desire to find a solid and continuous love and support system to create a beautiful family unit that acts as a haven from the world. Help me to feel adored, safe, and appreciated within. I desire a partner who cherishes my creativity and spark, who loves my emotion, who loves my experiences, good and bad. Someone who will love me to my core, my heart, my soul, and my mind unconditionally. I desire to continue my journalism career and make a difference. Maybe write a book, to blog. I would love to start a nonprofit. Help me to always love my job that it might be a creative outlet. I desire time to write, to make a good living, to be a network support reporter. Wait, I desire time to write, time to make a good living, to be a network reporter, to start that nonprofit, and to consider grad school options. Time to be a good friend, to begin family life, to have children, to teach my children about faith without fear. Mostly help me teach them how to love. I desire to be feminine but strong. Let me not allow resentment or anger to take me, but to stand firm, empowered and determined in what I know I want and deserve. Amen. I served my husband with the divorce papers, and I was turning 35 the next day. Despite the hope in my prayer, I experienced deep fear and pain. I was uncertain about my future and painfully afraid of the unknown. It has not been 4 years, and so much has happened. It's why I'm completing this book. I'm ready to share my story and hope it can be of value to others. I've come far. I've learned so much. I would never believe, as I prayed this prayer, how my life would unfold. Sometimes we just need to keep faith in ourselves, our lives, our friends, our community, and our spiritual connection. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, our friendship through strength and loss. I know what a wonderful young woman you are. Good things are waiting for you. Use your good, strong legs and mind to find them. Some of us have to make our own way. Ruth Ann Simmons Pitts. I knew the pain my loveless marriage was bringing her. My Aunt Ruth Ann was my biggest confidant and best friend. She encouraged me to make the move to Boise from Boston after receiving a job offer from the ABC affiliate out west. She knew I needed to get away from a toxic relationship and find myself again. She was so right in her encouragement. It rescued me. 5 months after that Boise move, just before her death, we were having lunch in Tucson, Arizona, and she told me never to settle. She reminded me I was strong and to always be strong. 2 weeks later, I was in Tucson again, this time holding her hand in a hospital room. Along with Ruth Ann, I sobbed and I put my face to her hand. I promised her I would go through with the divorce and that I would stay strong. She passed away the next day. Why does it seem like Lauren likes to use deaths in the family to coincide with her things that are going on in her life? Like, why does there always have to be a death? Like her brother, and we got the aunt. Two months after saying goodbye to my beloved aunt, I wrote this for myself in my private journal. December 2014. I just picked myself up off the floor and told myself to go and write, or someone did. Here I am at my computer in a tiny sunlit corner of my apartment, my haven in Boise, Idaho. a place I call home and have for the past 8 months. I told Sharon at the Christmas party that Ruth Ann visited me in my dream. She told me that for angels, that meant something. That was an early visit. I trust Sharon when it comes to angels. Who's Sharon? When Ruth Ann visited, so clear and vivid in my dream, I said, "Are you here to tell me you're okay?" She looked vibrant. She was done up in her fabulous clothing and makeup, looking ready for one of her formal dinners with important people. And she smiled her beautiful smile. She told me, "Yes, I am here to tell you I am okay." I asked if she was with me and if she knew everything going on. She told me she did, and that she was with me and has been with me. She told me she was watching me. I asked her what I needed to know. She told me to let things go. She told me that the tension in my life was building because of things I wouldn't let go. I asked her what else. She told me not to spend time with people that put me down because I was worth more and I am a remarkable woman. Then I woke up. That dream is sustaining me. It's been an eye-opener every year. Or it's been an eye-opening year. And it's coming to a close rapidly. I read a saying somewhere, something like, there is pain that just hurts, and then there is pain that molds you into a stronger person, changing your direction for the better. I was feeling tough months ago, hanging on that cliche quote, feeling like that's what the pain of this year would mean. But Ruth Ann, the person who was helping me through it, why did she have to go? Why did she die? 2 weeks after I visited her in October, my best friend, the person who said I would always have her and she'd always be there for me. Why did this happen? This pain doesn't feel like growth. It feels cruel. Ruth Ann was every person someone dreamt of having in their life. She was my best friend. She was a mother figure, a sister, a supporter, and cheerleader. She was calm, soft, and collected, then strong and bold with opinions. She watched me make my own decisions and go through life with her bright smile, encouraging me, but never telling me what to do. Until I asked. Then, watch out. She loved me deeply. I know that. I really know she did. I loved her deeply. Today, I can't call her. I can't fly to her. I can't text her. I can't hear her say that I'm going to be fine or just give me some tough love and say, "Well, what did you expect, Lauren?" I can read her old texts and imagine what she would say. It would likely be along the lines of some tough love and then compassion, an offer to fly me down to Tucson for some R&R and future life planning. Or I could remember the dream, how vivid it was, and think that she is right here with me, right now. I remembered the dream and it got me up. Go right, Lauren. Her words, "You'll always have me," have changed. I read these words every day. They were in her last email to me and it's stuck to my fridge. Trying to process it. I will always have her by my side as my angel, but her voice, I really miss her voice. I spoke at her memorial 3 days after her death. I wrote then my talk, and it felt good. A couple months later, I'm still crying, still grieving, but I want you to know, and Ruth Ann too, that I am grateful. I am so grateful that I had Aunt Ruth Ann in my life. I'm going to go shower now. She would tell me to. I'm going to go clean my apartment, my safe haven that she wanted to decorate. She made me FaceTime with her as I put my thrift furniture together and watched it all come together. She loved my couch. I'm going to get done up on my days off today and tomorrow and be grateful, so grateful that I had Aunt Ruth Ann and I still have an Aunt Ruth Ann. So grateful that she visited me early for an angel to make me understand she's really here. She is by my side. She's giving me some tough love. What did you expect, Lauren? really. Get up, get going. You are strong. I am here. You know that. So go shed a few more tears in the shower, then get to work and maybe go get a manicure. I am here. Thank you, Ruth Ann. I love you. I miss you. So this must be Aunt Ruth Ann. And it says she had some kind of a firm. And it says Tucson company finds something furnishing federal building. So I don't know if she was an interior designer. But we need to see if Aunt Ruthie was designing the federal buildings. Yes, this was a self-published book, by the way. So yes, she starts out with a, ode to Aunt Ruth Ann, playing on the feelings and meshing in leaving her first husband into the whole death thing. So it says duty called and a firm answered. So I don't know what that's all about. So here we go. Next chapter. Searching for my lighthouse in the storm. And this photo is August 2013. You won't get timed out for twat. You can say whatever you want in here. We have thick skin. As he was taking this photo, he was telling me how beautiful I was. I had just flown to Boston from Utah, and he wanted to take me on a road trip to show me around. He knew I loved lighthouses, pulled over for this photo. I felt hope. I felt excitement for this new chapter. After 2 months living away from him as a newlywed, living at his grandmother's home in Salt Lake while he found us an apartment in Cambridge, I began to feel safe again. And in this moment, I felt love. So this must have been taken by the ex-husband. We got back into the car and what I was feeling allowed me to open up. I shared how hard it was to have been away from him. I shared that I was feeling misplaced in my life as I had decided to switch careers. But I reassured him I'd be okay. What does she mean she switched careers? I thought she was always a reporter. He always told me he liked it when I was honest and vulnerable, but I also knew he could be a bit narcissistic. So I was careful as I shared my emotions, wanting to make sure he didn't feel blamed. I only wanted to continue this feeling of closeness. As I shared, tears came, as they often do when I opened myself up. He pulled the car over. I finished my thoughts while leaning on his shoulder. I finished and it was silent. I looked up at him, searching his eyes for a response, waiting for a response. He was silent. I grabbed his hand and held it. Then he told me I needed to stop crying, that he couldn't continue this marriage if I kept crying, and that he could no longer handle my tears. I had to stop right now, right then. He put the car into drive again and started driving back towards Boston. Stunned by his response and my ultimatum, my tears continued to flow. I just wanted to be close to him. But the next thing he said, I thought I had misheard. Lauren, I'm taking you to the airport. I sat there in silence, wondering what he meant. Our next stop was supposed to be what was going to be our new apartment. Just 5 months ago, we were dancing with hundreds of family and friends at our wedding. This was a dream I had always wanted. He was about to get a degree at an Ivy League school while I was planning to audit classes and find my way in the nonprofit world. It was a sweet vision of a happy and secure future. But now He was slowing down and making a U-turn. I was processing the entire experience in slow motion. I remember it so vividly. Even the tart taste in the air. I'm taking you to the airport, he said. He paused, as if to make sure he knew this was the best decision. Yes, he said with more conviction. I don't want to invite you into my world here. I don't want to even see the apartment. I'm taking you to the airport. I don't want you to be around here like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Knowing what we know?
Bing bang.
She got shunned. She's probably been shunned a lot.
Just help a brother out here.
Oh, Feisty Cooter, we need this rendition on Audible. Stat, P.S. We had a Cooter baby. We did, and it's really cute, too. Thank you, Feisty. Oh, man, can you imagine? He's like, 5 months. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Biggest mistake I ever made. I married you. 5 months, you gone. Exactly, Crimes. Exactly. Oh, don't feel bad, Purple. I'm trying to hold it in as I read. I mean, literally, he had to trick her because he knew if he didn't get her in the car. See, I could read right through this, okay? Hey, Lorna Doone, if he didn't get her in the car and say, hey, this is what's happening and this is happening right now, she probably wouldn't have gotten in the fucking car. Exactly, Miss Jess. John, complete opposite. Weak. Weak. I mean, 5 months? Exactly. Sounds like he just wasn't that into her. Like, they moved in together. They, the shit just wasn't, it wasn't meshing for him. He's like, look what he said. I can't have you around here. Look it. I don't want you to be around here like this. There's way more to this story. So, Mr. Henderson, if you ever want to tell your story, we would love to hear your story. Because to have some woman write this book about you has got to be fucked up, right? Pine says he dodged a bullet and has a beautiful family now. Nice. I'm sure he wouldn't want to revisit this mess just because Lauren caused herself some drama, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. Yeah, honeymoon time, like that first year, you're still in the honeymoon phase, or you should be. I wish she would have went more into how they met and stuff, right? That would be interesting. But maybe she will. We're still in, we're only on page 21. Dr. Maisie. 21 out of 296 pages. Yeah, Lorna Doone. Give us a little jingle if you feel like it. Okay. So this guy was about to get a degree at an Ivy League school. And it says here she was going to audit classes, whatever that means, and find her way in the nonprofit world. So let's keep in mind that for a decade at least, she has wanted to start a nonprofit of some sort. Okay, keep that in the back of your mind. Oh, really, Dr. Macy? Okay, that's going to have to be our next review because I haven't watched all that yet. So sounds like there's a lot of nuggets in that. The Mormon stories. Okay, so let's see. Where do we leave off? Okay, here we go. My mind was racing. I couldn't understand who this was or why and how this was happening. As my mind continued to process everything, I softly said, okay. I sat back in my seat and let him drive. I kept thinking he might turn around or tell me it was a joke. I didn't even know where he was going to fly me. I didn't have a home. I didn't have a job. I couldn't live with his grandmother again. My parents didn't have a home. Why didn't her parents have a home? What the fuck? I remember wondering where I should ask him to send me when we got there. I knew one thing. If he really wanted me gone, I wouldn't argue. If he really wanted me out of his life, this was not the man I thought I'd married. Some heartfelt tears and honesty. And how this? If he was capable of changing his mind about our marriage so quickly, I wouldn't try to convince him otherwise. And he was capable of such a rash decision. I knew when he pulled into the airport's underground parking that he meant it. Oh, her dad was in prison at that time and they lost their house. Well, where the fuck were they living? I mean, they had to be living somewhere. Auditing a college class means that you take the class by paying for it, but you don't receive a grade. Weird. Good morning, Galen. Good to see you. Okay, so she knew when he pulled into the airport's underground parking that he meant business. He was going to let me go after less than an hour in Boston. The man who I thought would cherish me, the day we married in the Mormon temple, was pulling out his smartphone to purchase a ticket to some unknown place in some location where I would never have a home. It would be any place that wasn't with him. He stopped. He looked at me. I just don't like it when you cry, Lauren. Stop crying. It's time for you to go. I can't help it, I said. I cry. I have emotions. He said I needed to learn how to stop crying if I wanted this marriage to work. I told him I couldn't change my tears and the underlying feelings that brought them on. And I'm so grateful that during this moment, I knew my emotions were perfectly fine. I knew what I felt and shared with him was normal and acceptable, just not to him. I sometimes wonder if this is how men and women become trapped in abusive relationships, if they don't know their emotions are normal and they are not allowed to express them. If I didn't know what I felt and shared in that moment, and if I had to repress all my emotions in that moment or in the marriage, I doubt I'd be writing this book. I see the pivotal moment as a crucial point in my life because I had enough self-worth to recognize that my emotions, my truth, in the moment mattered, and no matter how much he wanted to reject my feelings and tears, I did not want to become someone I did not want to be. Okay, let's paraphrase this. He said, you got to go. You didn't have a fucking choice, okay? There was no choice in the matter. He drove you to the airport and parked in the underground garage. Okay? You were backed in a corner. You didn't have a choice but to accept it. And that's probably why he did it the way he did. Because you had no way out. You had no crying. No crying in the world was going to save you when you're at the airport. You're gone, girl. Gone, girl. Hey, Kathy P. Oh, it's so good to see you. I've been thinking about you over this holiday weekend. I hope you're hanging in there okay. I do think about you. It's good to see you in here. Thanks for coming in. So I think that paraphrases that paragraph pretty well. Okay, so this says, if communicating with your partner leaves you feeling unheard, unstable, and frustrated, it's because they don't care about you, much less what you have to say. A person who loves you would want to spend time with you, know all about you, and ensure that you feel safe and cared for. And this is a quote from Kim Syed, 6 strong signs you have narcissistic abuse syndrome. So she's saying that her ex had narcissistic abuse syndrome. I had known since I was young that I desired to be with a man who had emotional intelligence. I wanted someone who would listen and share and understand and discuss. I desired a partnership with empathy and unconditional love. What felt frightening in this moment was that before we were married, I believed this man had shown some emotional intelligence through empathy and caring for me. Had I truly been duped? This also was hard to comprehend. Feeling duped. Oh my God. So says all the ex hidden gems. Can I get an amen from all the ex hidden gems in chat? God. It's hard to comprehend, feeling duped. If I had really been duped, then I was so ashamed. I was ashamed that I married a man capable of ending our marriage because I cried. Trust me, this guy did not end in a marriage because she fucking cried. Good morning, Uncle Tim. Good to see you. Ended a marriage because she cried. God. I can't imagine. He must have felt so relieved. Amen. We have seen the light, says Callie. Amen. And everybody say amen. Because I cried. Oh my God. She's just, how could, I think she wrote this because she wanted to become a life coach at that time. Hey, sister. Hope you're hanging in there as well. I had married a man who could quickly transform from a man taking a sweet photo of me in front of a lighthouse while showering me with compliments to a man who wanted to punish and shame me. How could I have been so blind? I look at these photos and in my smile, I see the man I thought I married. But here at the airport, I was seeing the truth. A man who wanted complete control. A man who couldn't handle my tears and emotions. He wanted to start this marriage to be all about him, to show me who was in charge and what was acceptable. Tears were not supposed to be a part of the marital equation. He only wanted me, and by extension, himself, to show strength. It didn't matter that he had thousands of friends on social media, or that he appeared to have empathy, because I knew now that wasn't empathy. When he told me on our honeymoon that he believed he should... Holy shit. Stop. He told me on our honeymoon that he shouldn't have married me, that our marriage was a mistake. Holy shit. This should not have come as a surprise to you, Lauren. He was honest with you from the word jump. Holy shit. It wasn't a fluke when in our first home in Santa Monica, he again repeated that he didn't want to be married to me. When'd you live in Santa Monica? Thought you were living with the grandma. And then you moved to Boston. I'm a little confused. Maybe they lived together before they got married? Judgy McJudgerson. How are you? I love your name. I'm waiting for the abuse part. He didn't want to be with her, so that's abuse. Kind of like how Christina didn't want to be her friend, so now she's a stalker. Fuck. I can't with this lady's twisted mind. Okay. We slept then on 2 floor mats I had purchased in LA's fabric district. What? What's LA's fabric district? What the fuck? Puddin', I like him too. He said on the honeymoon I shouldn't have married you. I don't mean to laugh, but she's such a bitch. I can totally see why. Wow. Okay, so she went to LA's fabric district for floor mats. We had no money for a real mattress, he told me. It definitely wasn't loving when he would push my... Stop. Okay, I'm going to try not to laugh. It definitely wasn't loving when he would push my floor mat away from him. The garment district? I didn't know. How fancy. She seems pretty abusive herself, though, Robbie. Emotionally abusive. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so we had no money for a real mattress, he told me. It definitely wasn't loving when he would push my floor mat away from his. It wasn't the emotional intelligence I craved when we would walk into our Santa Monica studio apartment and refuse to acknowledge me or even look at me. Couldn't be just another lapse in judgment that brought us to the airport And so here in this underground parking lot, I finally started to believe the marriage would never get better. Finally started to accept that he was not who he pretended to be. Yeah, when you were backed into a corner. I told him I would not be able to learn to never cry in order to make our marriage work. I told him he could buy me the ticket. Okay, at this point, he was buying you the ticket no matter what you said. Okay, so she's trying to make it seem like, oh, yeah, I told him I'm not going to stop crying, so he bought me the ticket. No, he already had his mind made up. He didn't give a fuck what you had to say at this point. When he got you in a car and tricked you to take you to the airport, he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. And nothing you said was going to change anything. So don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to make it look like, oh, I didn't want him anyway, because you did. You acted like a fucking weirdo and he got rid of you. That's my opinion. And then he did something he sometimes did when he felt desperate. He started crying in the airport parking lot, a place we ended up because he was angry at my tears. He started sobbing. What if I then told him, just as he had told me minutes ago, that his tears were unacceptable, that I needed him to stop crying? He told me of his terrible childhood, and I held him. He told me he had no one else. He told me he makes mistakes and that he was sorry. And as always, my empathy kicked in. I held him in that parking lot. I gave him what I always wanted myself, unconditional love. He repeated that he was sorry as he was now driving us to see our Cambridge apartment. Hope entered the equation once again. I thought that perhaps we'd be closer now. Perhaps we'd make it through. Perhaps we'd have stories of our first difficult year like so many other couples. Perhaps he just needed love. So she's saying now that they went to the airport. He cried and then said, oh, let's go look at the apartment, baby. Okay. So in other words, she cried her way. He felt bad. If this even happened, right, Janice? Good morning, Ballet Flats. I don't believe this went down the way she says. So now she's taken this picture that he took of her and she put the quote, "You pretended to be a lighthouse. I didn't realize you were the storm." I wonder if first husband is cute. Does anybody know what he looks like? I don't want anybody stalking him or trying to contact him, but if anybody happens to know, like, or have seen a picture. Good morning, Lindsay Hendricks. Always good to see my chat buddy. Pics in Discord. Oh. Okay, thanks. Let me take a little gander here. He pushed his floor mat away from her. Hi, Jim Cox. All right, let me see. I just want to see for myself. Yeah, she looks so much different, you guys. She really did a lot to her face. Like, I think more than we realize. Oh, wow. Is that him and his new wife? I'm not going to show these for their privacy, but. Oh, wow. He kind of looked like her brother a little bit. Gosh, that doesn't even look like her. God, I want to show this so bad, but I don't want to show his face. I want to show her. So let me. God, she was so cute. And it looks like this picture, they're at a rodeo. Hang on. Let me email this to myself. He was actually cute, huh? I mean, complete opposite of John. Just give me a second here. I have to email myself this photo so I can show you. Yes, she did get married in the temple, she said. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, I'm sorry this takes so long. I do miss having an Apple to stream from. He's very handsome then and now. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Pines. I just want to respect his privacy because this chick is wild, dude. It's been so long for him that I just don't think it's fair to put his business like out there publicly. You know what I mean? This woman is not right. I mean, after seeing that body cam, it's like, dude, this chick will go to any lengths. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? I got it. Thank you, Pines. It does show a little bit of his face, but not much. But look at her. I mean, it doesn't even look like the same person. I wonder how old she was here. 35? Cassandra, he was handsome. Yeah. Oh, Sim, she's leaving out, half the story, I would imagine. Emmy Joe. Emmy Joe, why you always gotta, call me out, man? Okay, back to reading. We're only on page 17. Leaving for a new story. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. Yes, this is Lauren. Here, I'll keep it up. Dude. That's Lauren. And it looks like she's at a rodeo. I mean, granted, she's a lot younger, but she's 45 now. Oh, you've seen him too, Lindsay? He does look Mormon, but he's cute.
I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Chin Plant, thank you for your super chat. Chin Plant says, it would be ironic if he looked like Homer from The Simpsons. Cartoon men only. He doesn't. Leaving out half the story and twisting the other half. There you go. That tracks. Now here is a picture she took from the plane as she left Boston. I remember the clouds were so full of hope. Okay, now here is a picture of her and her kid. And this, whose kid is this? 2013? Did she have a child in 2013? Whose child is that? God. I always wanted to be a mother. Some women say they had to warm up to the idea, while others say that the maternal instinct didn't kick in until having a baby. But for me, I was always looking forward to that chapter. I chose to babysit on weekends in high school instead of go out with friends. I dreamed of creating family traditions and bought clothes for my future children. You bought clothes before you had kids? That's weird. I think that's weird. Yeah, I was that girl. I dreamed of cooking my children organic meals and creating a home for them with my husband that would be full of love, opportunity, and safety. I wanted to raise strong daughters and teach them to love themselves. Yet, the irony, I was with a man who would demean any strength I had left. Still, I kept this hope. I was 33 years old now, almost 34, still childless. And I wanted this marriage to work. I wanted him to be the man I had believed I had fallen in love with. And how could I have been so wrong about him? How could he pretend to be one thing but be the opposite? I refused to disregard the goodness I felt he'd shown me. I couldn't sort it out in my brain. So when I came home with him after that ride to the Boston airport, I had already forgiven him. I was ready to love him. I wanted to give him my all. I thought he'd feel the same way about me. We would move on. We would learn. That first night home in our new apartment, he told me we had a dinner date with friends. I was worn out from crying, but got dressed and done up. It made me feel better. When I was ready to head out the door, he told me I needed to change my clothes. I was too formal, he said. He wanted me in shorts, not pants. He wanted me in flats, not heels. Oh, he wanted her in ballet flats. He must have seen Janice. He's like, put on those ballet flats. I changed my clothes. I felt broken and tired. I wanted to please him. The dinner brought hope. We laughed and talked with his new friends from France and Mexico. He was always so charming in social settings. I loved that about him. It felt good. His friends asked me about my journalism career. I noticed I was timid and kept looking at my husband to see if what I was saying was acceptable to him. Hope remained as I fell asleep that evening, full of food and new friends. I didn't realize it would be the last time my husband would speak to me for days. The next morning, not a word. As he got up and got ready for classes, the pattern continued into the evening. But spoke to my friend Leah on the phone. She just happened to be a relationship coach. She encouraged me to let him open up first. Just do your thing, she'd say. But that was day 2. Now it was day 3, day 4, not a word. I had no idea what was wrong. I believed that the dinner had gone well. We had been happy for a brief moment, or so it seemed. But Leah was right. He opened up. Finally. On the 4th day, he walked into our apartment and he said he needed to share something personal with me. I sat down and held his hand. He told me he believed we'd do better apart. He realized now that I should have kept my reporting career in Salt Lake City and taken the job offer I'd declined when we chose to get married and move. And what is with her and these jobs and men? How come she always gets a job offer when she's about to get married or meets a guy? Seems to me maybe she likes to hold these job offers over men's heads to get them to move or motivate them to either stay with her or be with her. What do you guys think of that? Because she's talking here about giving up careers for the first husband. Now we heard that she gave up the Wisconsin job for John because John said he loved her. Yeah, this is the same, Patrick. Hey, La Julia. Thank you for listening. Barcelona, Spain. That's what it seems like. Well, I have this job offer, and if we don't do something right now, I've got to take it, so we have to decide. Okay, don't take the job. I love you, Lauren. Just come move with me. I mean, if you want to be a reporter, a successful journalist, you have to be moving. You have to be ready to move. Period. Okay, so
For making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen.
thank you, Magic Wand.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. No, they did live together. They lived together in Santa Monica on floor mats, and he scooted his away. Okay, so he realized I should have kept my reporting career in Salt Lake City and taken the job offer I declined when we chose to get married and moved. He asked me if I thought it was still available. Wait, what? The career he told me I couldn't have if we had children? The career I gave up because I loved him? The career I mourned because being an attentive wife and starting a family felt important? He wanted me to be a reporter? He wanted me away again? I started crying. I tried so hard not to cry. He became angry and he told me he had come to me to be vulnerable and share. And he asked why I would respond with tears. He said he knew that crying was not acceptable to him. I was making this so hard on him, he said. It's always my fault. Everything was my fault. I made his life hard. He stopped talking again for several more days. 3 days later, I was the one who broke the silence. I asked if he would be interested in couples therapy. He said, absolutely not. He told me that only I was the problem. I calmly told him then that he was right. We'd do better apart. And I was leaving. Why? He asked. I gave him my reasons. I want to feel loved. I want to feel someone who's grateful for me. I want someone who will talk to me. I can't do this any longer, I told him. And I want children. I want a family. I want a companion who's looking forward to starting this next chapter with me. If we can't even talk to each other for days, how are we going to raise a family together? He was sitting at the table, and he looked up to me, making eye contact with me for the first time in days. I'll never forget what he said. Lauren, I want children too. I just don't know if I want your children. Ouch.
The law and crime.
Ouchies. He's like, I don't know if I want them genetics. If you find yourself in the wrong story, leave. I knew now with certainty that this was not my story. I quietly started packing, and he watched. Who thinks she quietly packed? Not I. Not I. I asked if he could purchase that plane ticket he'd been wanting to buy. He told me no. I had nothing. No money, no job, no parents to fall back on. Just a man who was always encouraging me to leave. Yet, now telling me he didn't want me to go. Or yet, now telling me he wouldn't let me go. No, he said he wouldn't pay for it. I calmly asked if he could just take me to the airport. If I found a friend to buy me a ticket. He refused. He told me I wasn't leaving. When he left to go study with friends that night, I found his credit card and I bought the airplane ticket. I scheduled and charged a taxi ride too. I was proud of myself. If I was ever going to raise strong daughters, I needed to be a strong woman. Kraken, what's happening, girlfriend? Good to see you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Okay, so the next morning when he got up for school, I reminded him again that I was leaving that day. Silence as usual. No talk, just avoidance. I told him I had a ticket, and I wanted him to understand clearly that I was leaving. Silence again. Not sure if he didn't believe me or if it was a lack of listening or denial. But he would never take what I said seriously. I always tried to be clear, but he refused to listen. His only filter for understanding the world was his own. My voice never mattered. In the security line at the airport, my phone rang. Where are you? He asked, acting shocked. I've told you many times, I said. I'm leaving. I'm at the airport. He begged me to come back. He went between weeping and yelling and telling me how much he loved me. We were married in the Mormon temple, Lauren. How could you do this to me, Lauren? It was always about what I did to him, and once again, only his tears mattered. His tears were some of the most manipulative tears I have ever seen, especially when he was losing control. Thank you so much for your generous super sticker, Kraken. I barely got on that plane. I was crying again. The tears were becoming so common. I didn't want to be in a marriage with so many tears of pain. I kept reminding myself, if I wanted to one day have strong daughters, I had to be strong. So I flew to Salt Lake City, so scared, but taking it one step at a time. And then I flew to the Dominican Republic to visit a close friend. Oh, all of a sudden she's got money to fly to the Dominican? Get the fuck out of here, Lauren. I gotta get a friend. I gotta get a friend to give me a ticket, but then I'm gonna go to the Dominican. Christy was an old Mormon mission companion of mine. Oh, I wonder if she's the one that she broke into the library with. She was a mother and asked me to come watch her children after I landed in Utah. What could be a better escape from a story I didn't belong in than to fly to my friend and enjoy her two beautiful children for 2 weeks in paradise? That would be the perfect way to find my story again. Oh, you're going to the Dominican Tuesday for your daughter's wedding? Oh, congratulations, Mal. Oh, the crying. I'm surprised she's not dehydrated. So here she is on the beach with her friend's kid, I imagine. In the Dominican. And then here's another one of her on the beach in the Dominican, pretending to be maternal. Paula 1966, thank you for becoming a member today. Thank you for joining. Let's get you an official welcome.
She says, welcome
Close
to
your legs.
Clearville. Everybody
Close
close
your
your
legs.
leg. Everybody coming in, close your legs.
Close your legs.
Speaking of closing your legs, Dolly Talk is in here. Dolly Talk, close your legs. Good to see you, dude. I'm enjoying y'all's streams over there. If you're not subscribed up over to Excited Utterance and Dolly Talk, am I saying that right? Dolly. I feel like I'm saying Dolly Vision. Is it? No, I think those are palazzo pants. Lindsay, this is her friend's kid in the Dominican. Is my mic not? Hold on, let me fix it. Is my mic louder now? Is it too soft? Let me know. Is it better now? I think I fixed it. Let me know in chat if it's better. My mic it does that sometimes. It I don't know what it does. Is it better? Okay, I fixed it. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is her friend's kid, and she went to the Dominican to, find herself again. Christy, yeah, this is her friend, Christy Calafo Photography. So her friend Christy was a missionary friend or mission friend. Okay. All right, I'm glad you can hear me better. Christy encouraged me throughout the week and made me promise to divorce him. I told her I would leave. It was over. I had left. What? I thought she was already gone. How grateful I am for the friends who loved me and encouraged me through this process. I had left. I was so proud of myself. From the Dominican Republic, I was flying to Tucson. My Aunt Ruth Ann had purchased that ticket, and she said she was waiting with open arms. She couldn't wait to see me and to know I was away from husband. I was learning to be strong once again. After leaving, I still had hope. Hope to have children, hope for love, hope for a better life. Hope for a better life. That was hope worth having. I longer had hope. I no longer had hope with him. I needed to start a new life with someone who actually wanted to talk to me. Silence in a new marriage can be deafening and demeaning. I needed to leave, and I did. There she is again on the beach with friend's kid. Traveling through the waves of shame. Shame needs 3 things to grow: secrecy, silence, and judgment. And this is a photo taken in the Dominican. I loved my wedding. It surpassed my fairy tale dreams and was the work of many not even related to me. It came from the efforts and love of my community, my village. My family was not in a position to afford a wedding, but I had neighbors baking cookies, church members decorating, friends arranging flowers, invitations designed and given as a gift, extravagant showers, money given to help, an anonymous donor contacting the caterer to purchase twice as much food, a cake fit for royalty, bridesmaids who acted as wedding planners, and this only hits the surface. I'm overwhelmed remembering. Writing about this is still hard. 5 years later, I have shame still. I question how much I deserved all of this and if I made such a mistake. So here's her wedding party to the first hubby. I wonder where these people are now. I wonder if she talks to any of these women. I looked forward to showing gratitude to all those who helped after the wedding was over. I was going to write an article about DIY weddings and have it published along with wedding photos and honor the love my community and extended family showed me. I understand the irony. I'm instead using those same photos to write about my divorce. They wore black. I looked forward to showing gratitude. Or wait, I already read that. Hang on. I personalized thank you cards for each of my bridesmaids, and in the first week back from the honeymoon, I did pass out a few thank you gifts, but never finished. She never finished thanking the bridesmaids? What a bitch. That should have been on the wedding day. You should have given them thank you gifts on the wedding day. Win. My marriage was bad. It was filled with uncertainty, and shame kept me hiding. Before this marriage, I was a talker, a blogger, a writer, a speak my minder, a communicator, and a friend. A few weeks after my marriage, I went ghost. What could I blog about being in such a sad situation? How could I thank people when I realized my marriage was a mistake? Shame stopped me from writing thank you cards. Shame kept me from reaching out to my friends or those I trusted. How could I feel worthy of the fairy tale wedding I had just been given when there was no fairy tale ending? The gifts, the attention. I didn't feel I deserved a lot of these things. Here in the Dominican Republic, taking my morning walks along the beach while trying to feel confident in my decision to divorce, I wasn't just focusing on how my marriage was hurting me, but also how I was going to hurt others if it ended. There was also a lot of blame. How could I have married someone that didn't want to be married to me? How could I have married someone who didn't want children with me? There were so many layers of guilt and embarrassment. I was a strong woman, wasn't I? How could I have allowed myself to marry someone who treated me like this? Did I deserve this relationship then? Should I be a martyr and stay and own this bad decision? Should I just give of myself and love him? No matter the pain. There were a few people I was confiding in. My mom, my aunt Ruth Ann, and my friend Geneva. At 1 a.m, I would sit in my freezing car to escape from my tiny studio apartment, crying while on the phone with Geneva. I had just confided in Gretchen and Andrea once I arrived in Salt Lake from Boston. Those I chose to speak with were kind, but I was still ghost for the most part. This only deepened my shame because I felt like a bad friend. I valued that I was a good friend, and I didn't like that I feel like I was anymore. I had just been given the wedding of a lifetime, was shown love and compassion, and I followed it up by disappearing. Shame. It was this week in the DR that I received an email. Was it a Proton one? It was from a woman in the neighborhood where I grew up. She was someone who had helped me with my wedding. I hadn't been in contact with her since then, but now she was reaching out. October 2nd, 2013. Hi, Lauren. I'm wondering how you're doing. Are you happy? If you have time to chat, I would love to talk to you. I'm thinking about you. Much love. I wrote back, thank you for writing and checking up on me. That means a lot. I miss you, but I'm not my happiest right now. No, but I'll be happier soon. I know this. I would love to talk, but I am in the Dominican Republic until the 9th. and can only FaceTime until I'm back in the country. I came to watch a mission companion's children and visit with my old friend. Marriage hasn't been what I thought it would be thus far, and I am making some decisions. Love you. We will talk soon. Lauren. And she responded, October 2nd, 2013. Yes, we must talk. Marriage should be wonderful. You should feel loved, adored, valued, and secure in that relationship. I don't think it will get better if it isn't that way as a newlywed. My daughter married someone who had such potential, but didn't know how to show his love. Her husband could be nice sometimes, but would switch to be controlling and mean. She didn't know what to expect from him day to day. She tried for many years, had 3 children with him, never feeling good enough for him. She would try to leave and he would beg her to stay. Finally, after 21 years of unhappiness, she left. She should have left much earlier, but was scared and hoped it would get better. You don't deserve that. You are a treasure and should be treated that way. Those are my thoughts. I tell you this with much love. While so ashamed, scared, embarrassed, and so confused, to read these words meant so much. Despite my disappearing, people still cared enough to reach out and give their valuable opinions. The people I was afraid to disappoint were helping me realize I was worth more than my extravagant wedding and unfortunate decisions. There were others who reached out as well. A couple I admire took me to lunch and reminded me that every person who had helped with my wedding day only wanted what was best for me. This all helped encourage me and allowed me to realize I was worth more than this bad marriage. I think about others who find themselves in toxic relationships, who might not have this community of strength that I had, or friends or family who just don't grasp how toxic a relationship can be. I've had a few of those, and not everybody will understand. I feel lucky to have those who did. To those who need that last bit of encouragement, please know that this email from my friend is for you, too. You are a treasure. You deserve to be treated that way. Please know this, no matter what others say. I'm still only beginning to find my voice again. I still have shame, but writing this book, my personal story, is helping me realize I no longer have to hide. Here in the Dominican Republic, I was reminded that I was still loved despite my mistakes, or the way I was being treated. Okay, I don't know what she's standing in front of here. It looks like a tombstone, but it's probably something Mormon. It says you either walk inside your story and you own it, or you stand outside your story and you hustle for your worthiness. Breen Brown. She looked really pretty on her wedding day. She looks like Lori Vallow. I'm not going to lie, dude. She looks like young Lori Vallow. Or Lori Daybell. Right, where is her mother in all this? That's a good question, Pines. I feel like there's a lot of issues between Lauren and her mother, to be honest. How was she being treated? I wish she'd tell us. Oh, shit. Okay, the next chapter. Desire is obsessive. Love is respectful. Just because someone desires you doesn't mean that they value you. Is she trying to be like Marilyn Monroe here? The person that took this photo is Boston Winter. Does that even sound like a real name? Boston Winter? Yeah, Pops was in federal prison, so where was Mom? Who did Mom move in with, you know? Lori Cox. Thank you, Emilio. You always correct me on that. Thank you. That's why I always need you here. Okay, here we go. Now we're leaving the Dominican Republic. From the Dominican Republic, I flew to Tucson. My dear Aunt Ruth Ann was waiting with arms wide open, as promised. I was getting divorced. Ruth Ann had plans for me in a safe haven. She always did. She was a second mother, a best friend. She had my bedroom ready, complete with the latest Vogue magazine and a box of C's chocolate. She had emptied the closet, hoping I would stay a while with my one-way plane ticket. As promised, at the family reunion, she didn't speak of my failing marriage. I requested her silence. See Chapter 5 on shame. At the reunion, the text started flooding my cell. Lauren, I love you. Let's go to counseling. Lauren, we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. My response is, no, I want a family, and it would be too painful to come back. You said no to counseling already. We need to go to our separate ways. My mind is made up. But he never responded to or even acknowledged my statements or concerns. He never did. I agree, Ballet Flats. 100%. Instead, he took to blowing my phone up to a new level. Like, we have nothing to lose and everything to gain, Lauren, again and again. I am ashamed to say I went back. I went back. And it hurt my aunt so badly. She told me later how angry she was that he'd convinced me so quickly to return. I understand now why. He always came back running the moment I stood up for myself. The moment I said no more, that's the moment he wouldn't leave me alone. Why did I think this time would be different? Why did I think he would change? Why did I think that his desire for me meant he loved me? Just because someone desires you doesn't mean they value you. Oh, I regret so much that I allowed myself to be bullied. I was bullied into doing things I know didn't feel right. I am so ashamed at how I let this go on. I now know. Don't confuse desire with love. Desire is obsessive. Love is respectful. Being desired can feel good, but if someone has to beg you to stay or won't leave you alone when asked, they're not valuing you or your opinions. It's about them, not you. It's selfish, controlling, and disrespectful. It's not love. I went back with the promise of counseling. Back in Boston, I stayed for the next 6 months, prolonging the pain, the inevitable, through the long winter. Hoover, a maneuver used to suck victims in after they leave. Abuser uses improved or feel-good behavior and then continues cycle of idealize, devalue, discard. Hoover? Do I deserve love? Page 39. Stay away from people who make you feel you are hard to love. Back in Boston, I started auditing writing classes, landed a nanny job. Low volume again? Jesus, why does it do that? Is it better now? Hello, hello? I think I'm better now. Okay. Back in Boston, I started auditing writing classes, landed a nanny job, and met some incredibly strong and interesting women who became good friends. My husband kept his word, at least temporarily, saying he'd go to couples counseling, and we went. It was hard, but his willingness felt hopeful. In couples counseling, I was told that with all the changes going on in my life, that I needed individual therapy, along with couples counseling. My husband refused to go anymore. He said he felt like it made our problems bigger and didn't help. Once I was in my own sessions, well, this right here. They went to couples counseling, but in couples counseling, she was told she needed individual therapy. Okay. Once I was in my own sessions, I told my therapist, a psychologist, that my husband would consistently tell me our relationship was poor and would refuse to talk about having children, my career, or life plans until our marriage improved. I told him how hurtful it felt to be with someone who wasn't satisfied with our love or with me. The psychologist asked me why my husband thought our relationship was bad. And that's when I pulled out the list. Dun, dun, dun. The list was created when I asked my husband why he wasn't satisfied with our relationship and why he was always disappointed. I was trying hard to make it work. I never felt like I could get it right. He wanted me to clean more. I was trying. Make some money, he yelled. So I landed the nanny job. Why don't you cook, damn it? He had shouted the first month of our marriage. I tried to cook. It wasn't always easy when sometimes he'd throw what I made into the trash after tasting it. We were in our apartment one night and he was telling me again how disappointed he was in our relationship. His exact words were, "This year has been the best year of my life with schooling, but with you, it's also been the hardest." I told him that all I wanted in our marriage was to feel love and acceptance from him, and that I loved and accepted him, even his faults. What else did he need? I pushed him to help me understand, and he shared about his expectations I hadn't met. The journalist in me wrote each item down. 15 of them. I still have the list. Each item was something I needed to change or improve. Now, in therapy, I was pulling the list up on my phone. A few items caught my therapist's attention. I lacked toughness. He was afraid to have kids with me because he felt he was going to be Mr. Dad and Mr. Mom. Oh, and look what John has become. Isn't that what John is?
Bing bang.
He envisioned being at work, that I would call him crying, having an emotional breakdown, and he'd have to come home and take care of the kids. That's pretty bad if he had that vision after being married to her. You know what I mean? But Llama, he didn't write a book on it. So we have to give him the benefit of the doubt too, because we don't have his side. We can only sift through what we know of Lauren and her manipulation and the way that she lies. He has children with his new wife. Oh, that's good to know. That's really good to know. I'm glad that he moved on and found happiness. He had wanted a helpmeet in marriage, and I was not a good helpmeet. The psychologist stopped me. What does he mean by helpmeet? I explained it was a biblical term from the Old Testament. Yes, I know that, he said. But he is implying he wants you to take care of him? Yes, I said. The Bible says it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. My husband seems to see it literally. The help meet thing had come up more than once in our marriage. It was a term I never heard him use in our 3 years of on and off again dating. So they dated for 3 years on and off. That should have been a sign. But in marriage, it became common. I didn't like it, and I told him it hurt. But that didn't keep him from continuing to use it. He'd say he had expectations of me being a helpmeet, since he was the man, the breadwinner, and in charge. Woo! At least he was the breadwinner, Lauren. You're the breadwinner now. And in charge. I shared my dreams of being in an equal partnership. Did you really want an equal partnership, or did you want to control the partnership? Despite my pushback, I still caved in and tried to become a better helpmeet, but I was never enough. The person you love has made you feel like you can't do anything right. The salvation of the relationship always lies on the distant horizon and is entirely dependent upon your changing something about yourself, which is impossible to do, in spite of frantic efforts on your part, because your self-absorbed partner constantly changes the goalposts. Isn't that one of her sayings? Changing the goalposts. After sharing the list, my therapist said he couldn't be sure without knowing him, but he speculated that my husband had narcissistic personality disorder. Bullshit. A counselor should never speculate on a diagnosis for your husband. Narcissists can't do reciprocal relationships, he explained. I knew about narcissism, but this was new information to me. There is no such thing as a partnership with a narcissist, he said. A marriage with them is a one-way street, and the narcissist needs to be the one in control. He continued, the 3 things you just mentioned in your list are about him being uncomfortable with emotions. He sees you as lacking toughness, which seems to mean he isn't okay that you cry or that you feel something. It's like he doesn't want it doesn't seem like he wants you to be involved in the emotions that come with raising children. And he wants a helpmeet, not an equal partner. He asked me to consider some questions. Does he constantly seek your admiration without offering you the same? Does he blame you for everything wrong in the relationship? Does he believe he's special? Does he ignore your emotions, or do they make him angry? Does he always need to be in control of decisions? Does he seem to not have empathy for what you're feeling? Does he always need to win and be right? Does he always need you to agree with him? These questions were an aha moment, especially the last one. My husband would constantly say he didn't feel understood unless I agreed with him. But I was still confused because sometimes my husband was nice. Sometimes he came across as giving. On special occasions, he cooked for me. He'd surprise me with extravagant gifts or flowers, or he'd write a thoughtful card that would make me feel special. Why were they sleeping on floor mats then, if he was buying extravagant gifts? He served in our church and offered to help others. Hell, I had married the man. I had thought I'd seen enough goodness in him to think I wanted to spend my life with him. But then I learned about narcissistic supply. In my own words, narcissists can come across as kind and giving, but it's ego-driven, and it's about them receiving a reaction from you. It helps them feel in control and reduces their shame. Their kindness isn't about love, it's about control. Their kindness isn't about making the other person feel good. It's about making themselves feel good. They don't feel empathy for others. They actually have deep internal shame. They need people to think highly of them to fulfill their narcissistic supply. They choose when to be nice. They also choose to withhold love, making you crave and appreciate it more when they give it. I started wondering if I really married a narcissist. But if there was a diagnosis, then couldn't I manage it? I read that narcissism was not curable, but it can be managed, right? I wanted to understand my husband. Couldn't I now work with what I knew? The deep shame he might have, and show him some love? Towards the end of this session, I looked at my therapist and I asked, if he's a narcissist and it's a personality disorder, thus he can't cure it, does he still need love? Don't those with personality disorders deserve love too? Can I learn how to manage this and learn the best way to love him? I'm not sure that's the issue to address here, he said. Are you saying you're willing to sacrifice yourself and your needs to give him love? Don't you need love too? Oh, Lord. I still remember you as a little girl who overwaters plants because she doesn't know when to stop giving. So this must be, this is Lauren, 1982. I'm going to leave you with this baby picture for a second. I have got to go grab something to drink. I'm parched. So just give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. That's right, Hex. Ice cold Coke Zero. Okay. She was a cute little girl. She was a cute little girl. Okay, back to our reading. Okay, here we go. I am not who you see is the name of this chapter. She was made to appear crazy by the very man who drove her there. Crazy. Lauren, something's wrong here, y'all. Page 50. Okay. We're back on it, guys. We're rolling on almost 2 hours. Hey, Vibe. We are reading Lauren Matthias's book that was published in 2019 about her first husband. During this time in Boston, feeling so alone and empty, my prayers went something like this. Can I leave this marriage? Is it okay to leave a marriage that was supposedly ordained of God in my church? Or will it get better? Should I try to fix this marriage? How can I feel loved? How should I love him? I always received the same answer to these prayers. God wanted me to feel loved and happy. He loved me deeply. He wanted me treated right. This was reassuring to feel and have faith in, but there were no concrete answers to rely on. No booming voice telling me to call it quits. No angel named Beyonce coming down and telling me to stand up for myself and walk out the door. Beyonce? My therapist had left me with a question. Do I deserve love? This was different than wanting to feel loved or desiring love. Deserving love was how I felt about myself. Whether I deserved love was about how I was allowing this to go on. Wanting love felt safe. Desiring love was normal. But deserving love meant I felt entitled to something. Was it selfish to get divorced only because I felt I deserved more love? God, these people think so fucking deep that they create their own fucking problems. You know what I mean? It's like they go too deep and then they create problems that they wouldn't even have noticed. It was Sunday morning. Oh, wait, hold on. And what makes me think I'd find it? I'm almost 34 years old, and I've never found a love quite like my dreams. Did it exist? A fantasy? Was it even possible for me? It was a Sunday morning. I got ready for church. He was studying, and I was supposed to pick him up at the library. I knelt down to pray before I left the apartment. God, do I deserve love? Do I deserve to find a man who can truly love me? God, man. Only when I walked outside did I remember our car was parked further away than usual. It would be a race. And I felt anxiety knowing he never wanted to be late to church. One item on the list was He felt he carried all the spiritual weight in our relationship. I knew being late to church would disappoint him. Barely out the door, our elderly neighbor, Olive, stopped me. "Are you going to church?" she asked. I politely stopped to respond, "Yes, to church." "What church are you going to?" "The Mormon church." "Oh, do they believe in Christ?" Anyone that knows a Mormon knows we're happy answering questions about our faith. I had spent 18 months in a missionary, teaching others about my beliefs. Sharing a conversation with this woman, talking about Christ, and being her friend felt more important to me in the moment than rushing to church. I knew this meant I was going to be late, but I made the decision. I finished my conversation with Olive and ran to the car. I heard my phone ringing and I felt panicked. I called back once I was in the car and driving. "I'm on my way right now. I'm sorry. There was a woman who was curious about our church, and I felt it was best to talk to her. I'm coming." When I arrived, he jumped into the car, taking over the driver's seat. It didn't take long before his anger also took over. "Lauren, you have to stop being late." He was angry. "I understand. I will try to be more on time," I said. "I really felt I made the best choice back there. I felt speaking to her was important. I'm sorry, but please understand." There was no understanding. I should have known. He needed to be right, and I needed to know I was wrong. He ignored what I said and only pushed his original point. "Lauren, you have to be on time. This is no longer okay." "I heard you, okay, but I can't change what I felt was best to do back there." I was definitely pushing back now. I wanted to be heard. I wanted my experience to be acknowledged. "Lauren," his voice raised, "you can't be late. You can't be late anymore," he yelled. I started crying. The anxiety and panic and frustration and trying to communicate anything was so tiring and emotional. He never realized yelling would only make me cry harder. I'll never forget what happened next. He grabbed the passenger mirror above my seat and flipped it down. "Look at yourself," he shouted and pointed in the mirror. "Look at yourself. You are crazy, Lauren. You are crazy," he was shouting. I did look. He wanted me to see. What he wanted me to see was a crazy person. He wanted validation. He wanted me to see what he saw. Someone crazy. Instead, I saw pain. I saw me with tears streaming down my cheeks. Staring back at my tearful reflection, I said, "It's okay, Lauren. I love you." "What are you doing?" he yelled again. "You're crazy." Can you imagine having her looking in the mirror going, "It's okay, Lauren, I love you. It's okay, Lauren, I love you." She was saying it out loud. She says, "What are you doing?" he yelled again. "You're crazy." I was sobbing and now my voice was raised. "Someone has to love me and care about my feelings. If it's not going to be you, it's going to be me," I said through the tears. "You're truly crazy," he said the last time. The rest of the drive was in silence. I couldn't bring myself to go inside the church building when we arrived, but dropped him off. And he left me there in the car. Church was more important to him than making sure I was okay. I questioned my actions as I drove home. Perhaps I could have called him earlier. Perhaps I could have told Olive I was late and had to go. Or at least cut the conversation shorter. I could have. Perhaps I didn't need to push the envelope and instead could have said, "Okay," when he told me I needed to be on time. Welcome in if you're just joining. We are reading Lauren's book from 2019. Narcissists want you to think Your normal reactions to their abuse are the problem, not the abuse itself. The thing is, life is full of perhaps, should haves, could haves, and maybes. We can feel irritated when our would haves are different than someone else's would haves. That's normal. We can feel irritated and still understand. My husband could have felt irritated that I was late, but understood why. But this wasn't about being irritated. This was about trust. He didn't trust me. He didn't trust my intentions. He didn't trust my emotions. He didn't trust my decisions. Instead, he saw me as crazy, and he desperately needed for me to believe that. Just like Narcissus of Greek mythology, who was smitten with his image, my husband mistook my reflection for a human. In me, he saw a mirage of a person, a projection of how he wanted me to appear, something he could improve and fix. But when I looked in the mirror, staring at my reflection, I saw beneath the image, I saw a person with depth and a core. He needed me to alter my view of who I was, to prove his perception and feel in control. But in seeking his own validation, I saw my pain so clearly, saw my hurt so clearly. In the moment, I knew I deserved love. I questioned if he would ever feel I deserved love too. To those in similar situations, please know this. You're not crazy. Someone in your life can manipulate you into seeing yourself and your reactions as crazy. You become dependent on them. If you believe you're crazy, then lose yourself and must now rely on them to make sense of the world and your reactions. Please don't lose yourself. You're not crazy. Emotional abusers will consistently attempt to convince their victims that they're the crazy ones. A scream for my insanity. This is Salem, Massachusetts, 2014. A narcissist will provoke your anger and then calmly use it to prove their point. How many times can I be told I'm crazy and not start to believe it? I knew I wasn't crazy, didn't I? It was such a confusing and dark place to be. The accusations, the blame, as resilient as I felt I was, as much as I knew that someone constantly telling me I was crazy was wrong. I doubted myself and started to question if something was really wrong with me. Nothing made sense. I did things during my marriage that allowed these questions to seep in. Things that made me question who I really was. I questioned my character. During an argument over thank you cards, I stomped my feet and screamed, "Listen to me!" at the top of my lungs. Never had I done anything like this before. I felt so out of control. He told me that I was crazy, and I fell asleep that night wondering if I really was. There were so many times, so many incidents, so many questions. If someone you love constantly tells you that you're crazy, could it be true? So many times. One night, while I was folding his laundry, he started blaming me for not doing enough around the apartment and how he'd hoped for a better homemaker. This happened an hour after he told me I needed to make more money. I threw all of his laundry out of the basket and shouted at him to fold his own damn clothes. He looked at me like I was insane. "You're crazy," he said. Maybe I was. No, I didn't buy this. It was sent to me, Angel. Graciously sent to me. As I was sorting out these ups and downs, my words to my therapist were, sometimes he does something kind for me, and the next minute I feel like I'm going crazy. And I'm so angry and hurt at how he'd treat me, and then I'd lose it. "What do you mean you'd lose it?" my therapist asked. I told him of 2 experiences. "Hey, baby girl, I wondered, how could I believe this marriage was worth ending if it wasn't perfect either? If I did find these things, how could I blame him for yelling at me when there were times I screamed too? Am I crazy, irrational? Everything he accuses me of being? Well, why did you scream back?" he asked. "Because he won't listen to me. He yells when I don't agree. He points his finger at me and puts it in my face. Everything is my fault. Sometimes I feel bipolar. I feel so ashamed when I lose it. I can't sort all this out for you, he said. But I can tell you, as a psychologist, you are not bipolar. Stop it. Stop. She's quite. Was this psychologist John? This sounds like some Dr. John advice. I can't sort all this out for you, he said, but I can tell you as a psychologist, you are not bipolar. That much I know. Sometimes our circumstances cause us to act in ways that are not typical for us. This is not about your personality. This is about the situation you are in. I felt relief hearing my therapist validate me. I was buried in so much shame at this moment. It meant so much. It was so hard to trust someone outside my marriage to validate me. How could I if I couldn't even trust myself? So much confusion. Looking back, I realized how much I questioned myself to remember so clearly the relief I felt when the psychologist confirmed I wasn't bipolar. Go back, he said. Tell me about this argument over thank you cards. I want to understand this a little better. So I told my therapist, with all the moving, Massachusetts was the third move for me in less than a year. With all the shame, all the confusion, we still had some thank you cards from the wedding that hadn't been sent out. The majority of those left to write were my husband's friends. Almost all my friends had been thanked. I wrote down what they each had generously given us, collected their addresses, and decided I would ask for help from my husband to finish the process. With all the moving, Massachusetts, where am I? I looked away for a second and lost my spot, sorry. I knew that my newlywed brother and his wife had split up the job of writing their thank you cards. That seemed logical, a natural part of a new partnership. His friends, his cards. My friends, my cards. I needed some help. Unfortunately, nothing felt logical or reasonable in my marriage. It was confusing, and I just never knew what was going to rock the boat from day to day. But I'd be brave and ask for help. I asked my husband if he could help with the thank you cards, just as my brother had done, and many other friends in their marriages. Do you think if I gave you the list of what they each gave us, you could write these thank you cards for your friends? Lauren, why are the thank you cards not done yet? You should have had those done a long time ago. This does not look good, he said. So she sent out thank you cards to everybody on her side and left out his side. And he probably thought they were already sent. I don't know, Gaslight. I'm wondering who her therapist was. Do you guys hear that seagull? It's so loud. My therapist stopped me. So he didn't respond to your question and said he switched the topic and failed to address the issue you raised? Exactly, I said. I felt heard in this moment. My husband never listened to me, but finally someone was. He switches topics all the time. I try to validate him. I try to let him know I heard what he said. And that I try to understand that we can solve the problems at hand, but he won't respond to what I have to say. It makes me feel crazy, I said. I continued to relate my story to the therapist. I want to get the thank you cards done. It's been really hard with all the moves, and we've received a lot of gifts. I've written a lot. People were generous, and I'm behind, and I'm wondering if you could help. I asked my husband. Lauren, those should have already been done. Why aren't they done? You're so irresponsible. You're embarrassing me, he said. I don't understand. I just told you why they aren't done. I just wanted your help. Aren't these your friends? They need to be done. This is so irresponsible, he said. I agree that they need to be done. We agree. I understand. That's why I'm asking if you could help me. My brother helped his wife with the thank you cards for his friends. I tried so hard to explain. Lauren, there's no love in your voice. Calm down. You're getting too emotional. I really need you to get the cards done. This is making me look bad, he responded. My therapist stopped me again. He really isn't addressing what you brought up. That would frustrate most people. He's avoiding you, trying to get you to react. He wants to put you on edge so he can disempower you and point the finger at you. This is a deliberate strategy to gain control over you, my therapist explained. She is a very unethical therapist, if this is really what they said. What do you do when he tells you there's no love in your voice and to calm down? My therapist asked me. He does that all the time, I said. It's always me. If I tell him to stop blaming me, then he tells me I'm crazy or to calm down. If I ask what he means by there being no love in my voice, he just tells me to calm down again. And then asks me why the thank you cards aren't done. He never responds to my questions. I feel like the conversation never progresses. I often feel so confused and angry, I said. I try to reason with my husband. I plead with him. I even beg at times. Please, please, please. I'm trying so hard here to help, to make this right. I'm asking you with all the love I can muster. Please, please, please try to understand me. The understanding never comes. There is never any attempt to understand me. You are so dramatic, my husband says. You're being a drama queen. Just stop it, Lauren. These should have been done yesterday. Just get them done, he says. I'm starting to lose it inside. I need to breathe deeply. I need to stay calm. I want to reason with this man whom I'm calling my husband. I want to make this work. I will do them, I say. I see you want me to. Then please just trust me that I will get them done. It might take a few weeks. I am busy and can only do so much alone, I say. Oh, that was the last straw. He waves his finger in my face, angry. I know what's coming next. You are wrong, he says. There's no waiting. Get them done. I'm tired of being embarrassed by you all the time. I push back. I'm telling you, I will get them done. But if you're not going to help, I need you to please respect me and trust me to get them done. Not today, but soon enough, I say. No, you listen to me now. You need to calm down. You need to get those done now. This is your responsibility, he shouts. I'm stewing inside. A storm is rising up. I can't keep calm anymore. This isn't fair. It's not right. I scream at him and say, just listen to me. Listen to me. This scream comes with a stomp of my feet and my head tilted back and my fists tight in absolute exasperation. Listen to me. My therapist pauses for a moment and says, he portrays you as irrational, but he is the irrational one. You know you're dealing with a personality disorder when there is no reasoning with the unreasonable. When no problems ever get solved. When there is never any compromising, my therapist says. Narcissists will provoke your anger and then calmly use it to prove their point. Jackson Mackenzie. After all my screaming, my husband has all the ammunition he needs. You are crazy. You are totally crazy, he says. My therapist helped. He helped me to understand that maybe I was in a losing battle. Maybe it really wasn't me. I had no voice in any conversation. There was never any reasoning. Yes, I lost it. Yes, I felt crazy in that moment, but yes, I realized this doesn't define who I am. I am not crazy. I'm just in a crazy marriage where compromise feels impossible. I fell asleep that night after the fight, really wondering if I was crazy. I shocked myself at how I lost it at the end of the conversation. These were the moments in my relationship that made me question myself and who I was, but I now know. Narcissists will provoke your anger and then calmly use it to prove their point. They create drama through manipulation in order to pin craziness on you. Don't believe it. Not for 1 second. Don't you ever question who you are or give in to someone else's perceptions of you. Before I left my therapist's office that day, he asked me if I knew what gaslighting was. I told him I did. I told him I knew it was manipulation. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. You're so sensitive. You're so emotional. You're defensive. You're overreacting. Calm down. Relax. You're freaking out. You're crazy. I was just joking. Don't you have a sense of humor? You're so dramatic. Get over it already. Sound familiar? If you're a woman, it probably does. When someone says these things to you, it's not an example of inconsiderate behavior when your spouse shows up a half hour late to dinner without calling. That's inconsiderate behavior. A remark intended to shut you down, like calm down, you're overreacting, after you just addressed someone else's bad behavior is emotional manipulation, pure and simple. I want to introduce you to a helpful term to identify these reactions: gaslighting. He went further. Gaslighting is manipulative. It's a tactic abusers use to undermine a victim's perception of reality so the abuser can be in control. Or another way to look at it, it's slowly chipping away at someone's sanity by constantly providing them with mixed messages. When someone responds with an accusation after you bring up a valid concern, it's a form of gaslighting. Here's some examples. You're upset at me. You're ridiculous. You're acting crazy. There's no love in your voice. You started the conversation wrong. You're not thinking of my feelings. What about me? That's not what I said. That's what you chose to hear. My therapist ended the session with a thought. Why not trust yourself? Take back the power you have to trust yourself and your reactions. Use your reactions as a way to gauge whether something is right in your relationship rather than using it as a way to judge yourself. Do you trust yourself? Can you take back your power and trust that you know your emotions and who you are? I wish so much that I had been gentler with myself and had seen these moments for what they were. A gift that allowed me to simply realize this was not a healthy situation. I shamed myself rather than trusted what my abnormal reactions were telling me. Something was amiss. I left the therapist feeling validated. I felt heard. I could clearly see the gaslighting, but confusion still seeped in, blurring the clarity of ups and downs I was still sorting out. So this is a selfie she took, Boston winter. She made her own memes, y'all, out of her selfies. Looking pitiful. I don't know what year she got divorced, actually. Are you guys enjoying this read? Are you getting anything out of it? Go get some more coffee. French press coffee is my favorite. There's not enough weed for this book. Editing my regrets. Okay, still going to therapy once a week, still living in Boston. It was a new year, 2014. I was about to celebrate another birthday. My therapist was talking to me about regrets. I had a fear of future regrets. I carried shame with past regrets. Leaving my career prematurely and carelessly, not starting my career early enough, graduating from college a few years late, not having a master's degree when a life storm came rolling in, and then never feeling the timing was right to go back. What was I thinking? What could I have done differently if I had seen things with wiser eyes, including my marriage? Now here I was, soon to be 34, my life, complete with a Xanax prescription.
Bing bang.
complete with a Xanax prescription. My therapist and I talked about changing the relationship I had with regrets to ease the anxiety. Why not try to embrace them rather than push my regrets away? Rather than fear and shame them, why not acknowledge their existence and understand how my regrets have formed me? Have compassion for them. Have compassion for my story, complete with regrets. This made sense to me. I wrote this on January 16th, 2014. Tomorrow, I'm 34. It feels very different than 20 or even 28. Instead of a full set of dreams before me, I have to start wondering if there is time left for some of them. I have to realize what my 20-year-old self didn't fully understand. Years fly. It's going quickly. Even if I want to keep treating life like one of those choose your own adventure novels I loved as a kid, I no longer get to keep my fingers stuffed in the pages of other options, just in case, the way I like it. Tonight, I'm realizing I'm still young enough still for some big dreams, but old enough to know I might have missed a chance or two. At 34, I've learned about regrets. That's me tonight, thinking about my regrets. Yeah, you'll be miserable if you focus on regrets. She's her own worst enemy. I can't. Hi, Teresa. Hey, Kelly Mack. Oh, boy. All right, where are we? As Earl Partridge said in the movie Magnolia, don't ever let anyone ever say to you, you shouldn't regret anything. Don't do that. Don't. You regret what you want. Use that. Use that. Use that regret for anything. Anything you want. You can use it, okay? In my 34th year, I'm going to use my regrets. I'm holding them close, trusting what they've taught me and listening to their lessons. To use another Magnolia quote, one that seems fitting for the 34-year-old I am. In this life, it's not what you hope for. It's not what you deserve. It's what you take. I believe that. Here's to taking it all. Every bit, including my regret. Here's to another 34 years, complete with even more regrets, dreams, and an added time crunch. Being grateful that I know more than I did when I was 20. After contemplating on my regrets, I took a few of them had taught me. I took what a few of them had taught me. And with some encouragement from Ruth Ann, I edited and uploaded a fresh resume video of my past television reporting. I put it on Facebook. The next day on my birthday, I celebrated with these amazing women. Here's to regrets. It was a good start to my 34th year. And this is Lauren in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 2014, celebrating her birthday. Dreams don't die. They're just dismissed. Have you hit the thumbs up yet? Asking for a friend. Run, my dear, from anything that may not strengthen your precious budding wings. Run like hell, my dear, from anyone likely to put a sharp knife into the sacred, tender vision of your beautiful heart. Oh, there she is. Oh, Skype. Is she in her jammies? Or is that a blazer? Is that her jammies or a blazer? She looks really pretty there, by the way. Photo. Skype screenshot taken during my interview with KIVI in Boise at the request of Ruth Ann. I was wearing a jacket she had mailed me for the interview. So, Aunt Ruth Ann. This is Lauren. Who dat? No, this is before she did all the work to her face. She was interviewing for her position in Boise. She's absolutely beautiful here. Really, I mean, you can't deny that she was pretty. But her obvious lack of self-esteem and lack of love for herself has now, folded over into who she is now. And what she's done to her face, I believe, shows her insecurities and the lack of love for herself. I mean, if we look at her in the 9-hour live, I mean, just look at the baubles for a second. Let's make the baubles bigger. I mean, clearly she has a warped sense of herself and does not love herself because she is only 45 years old. I mean, this is just crazy. Janice, look at the difference. It's sad that she never realized how beautiful she was. And I'm being dead ass serious right now. Like, it is sad to see someone who is so fucked up about who they are and doesn't see who they really are and love themselves for who they are. This is what you get. It's extremely sad, to be honest. Lotus, everybody does struggle with that, but I think there's certain levels. Like some of us are, of course, we pick ourselves apart. Everybody does. But what you're seeing here is an extreme case of it. You're seeing an extreme case of someone who appears to have issues with her mother, issues in her family, birth order and dynamic. Her dad got thrown in prison. I mean, she hasn't found the love for herself. And maybe her aunt, Ruth Ann, really had her best interest at heart. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think that maybe her Aunt Ruth Ann, when she died, she lost the one person that ever believed in her? I mean, I'm not trying to be deep about this, but I'm going off what we're reading. And it seems to me that there was a shift somewhere. I mean, I think she's always been the same person, but I don't know, man. I think that she's so wrapped up in herself that I don't know. It's a wild one to discuss. I mean, I just can't believe how good she looks there. It's just, you would think it was 40 years ago, It's not her real aunt? How does she know her then? I love it too. Pines. Abandonment issues. I think she has mommy and daddy issues. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, this is what we do. We talk about things. We break it down. And I'm just trying to see the situation here beyond the surface. I just don't think there's any coming back for her. It's her dad's second cousin. On her dad's side, huh? Huh, interesting. Misery has morphed her face, not mean, just a fact. She calls everyone out. Large family, middle kids read them. I think she was ignored. I do. I think that for some reason, being the only girl was not the attraction in her family. I think and I hate to say this, I don't know if it's a Mormon thing, but I think they valued the boys. And she was right smack dab in the middle of these boys with a huge gap. Galen contributing to my Coke Zero Fund. Thank you so much
for making it happen.
For the Coke Zero Fund. I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is for the Coke Zero Fund.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. If your family was involved in criminal activity as a Mormon, I'm sure that was super humiliating for her self-esteem because they're supposed to be so perfect. For sure. Janice, I wonder if she chose the 9-hour live over visiting her mom on hospice. She seems to have no love lost for her mom. She only mentions her aunt, who is not really her aunt. Hey, Potato. The boys are more important. I just feel like those boys were valued. I mean, to the point where the family was talking about saving sperm. Like that tells me that the boys were very much more valued than she was in her family unit. Which would also cause relationship issues with having girlfriends. You know? And maybe I don't know. Let's keep reading. Maybe we'll figure out more. But she looks extremely pretty there. And that was when she was interviewing in Boise. After uploading my resume video onto Facebook, I began getting feedback from my fellow broadcasters. Chris, a producer I worked with in Salt Lake, told me to switch up some of my clips and reports. I did. Less than a month after posting the video, Chris reached out again. Are you looking for a job? What's your employment status? I'm just nannying these days, I said, but I'm looking. Nannying? By that, I meant I was open to opportunities, but I actually hadn't applied to any jobs because there was a problem. I was newly married and my husband refused to discuss any plans with me. We were living in an apartment we could not afford. He did not work, nor have any job prospects on the horizon, with only 2 months until his graduation. We lived on student loans and my nanny income. Her nanny income. Hold on. Every time I brought the subject up of the future, I was met with silence or anger. What do you want me to do, Lauren? I'm not even finished with school yet, and you're trying to pin me down with plans I don't have. So many mixed messages. Work, make money, don't work, stay at home and take care of me, get a job, don't get a job, plan for the future, don't plan for the future, get a career, let me work and take care of you, even without a job and living on student loans. Proverbial, damned if I do, damned if I don't. I just really wanted to make my marriage work. I was trying so hard, but it was never enough. Chris told me he was now working in Boise and had told the news director about me. She would be reaching out to me about a job, and she did. Boise's KIVI news director, Grendel Levy, reached out quickly. She asked when I would be available for a Skype interview. I couldn't believe my luck. In broadcast news, this never happened. In the past, I would have to apply to over 30 reporting jobs. And I never heard back from any of them because of the thousands of other applicants. Now Boise was interested, and they wanted me. They recognized my talents, and I felt validated. But there was a major problem. I was married. I was living in Boston. My husband didn't have a job. Graduation was 2 months away. I thought this could be the answers to my prayer and my marriage. I could work and make money while he started his business or search for just the right job. So she wanted to move across the country and leave him back in Boston, I think. I could work and make money while he started his business or search for just the right job. I could have the opportunity to jump back into my career, develop my skills, and even support him while he worked on his. And Boise was in the West, close to where we were from, and possibly wanted to live. During the interview, I was honest. I said I was married and that the future was uncertain. I asked about contracts, although most TV stations work under 2, 3, or 5-year contracts. Grendel said I would not have one. She seemed to understand my dilemma. She was bending to accommodate me. This was incredible. A dream job where I wouldn't have to stay if my husband found a job elsewhere. Everything seemed too perfect. Boise valued me and were willing to bend for me. They knew that my husband was graduating in May and I could start my new job mid-April. That meant that my husband and I would only have 1 month apart. That was nothing we hadn't done already, twice. After our marriage, when the future was uncertain, between our moves, he sent me to live with his grandmother in Salt Lake. That seemed to be the go-to scenario for him while he was busy making other plans. It seemed ideal that this time when he graduated, I would have a home ready for us in Boise. A place where he could search for a job and we could start our lives together, even if it was only temporary. I wanted to show him I could be a good homemaker too. I wanted to show him I could do it all, work, take care of the home, and be capable of raising children when the time arrived. It felt perfect. I believed I was working for our partnership. After the interview, I told him about the job. So she didn't even tell her husband about this job. She just went and interviewed. It's probably not the way you should do things in a marriage. You should probably discuss things, Lauren. After the interview, I told him about the job and my vision of beginning a bright future in Boise, a future that could easily change if he found a job elsewhere. I was flexible. I can start work, I told him, and then you can come to Boise and find a job. I will quit when you find a job. I'll leave when we have it figured out. Now you can take your time to just find the right job and not stress about how we don't have any money. He paused for a moment. He said, "So now you're going to leave me?" "Not at all," I replied. "I'm telling you that I'll go wherever you want me to go. But I know we can't afford rent here. And we're going into debt that we can't afford. Graduation is coming up and you don't know where you'll be after graduation. So I'm just trying to buy time. I'm taking care of us. You're in charge. I'll go wherever you want me to go. I'm just trying to help us start our lives on the right track." He paused again and appeared to be getting angry. "So you're leaving me? You're now telling me that you're leaving me for a job in a city where I will never want to work. I'm better than Boise, Idaho. I will never work there. My future will never be in Boise." "No, I'm not leaving you. You always told me to start making some money, and that's what I'm trying to do for us. As far as I know, we have no other plans. What do you suggest we do?" Again, like a broken record, he said, "So you're leaving me, Lauren? I'm the breadwinner. If you do this, our marriage will not survive. I can't believe you're leaving me." How is he the breadwinner if she says he's not working? I'm so confused. Hey, Kels, happy Saturday. I was stunned. He knew about my interview and my job prospects. He suggested I take the interview. He constantly told me I needed to make more money. Now, if I take a job, our marriage is on the line. "Why are you always threatening our marriage?" I said. "I'm telling you I won't go if you don't want me to. What is our plan then? I'm trying to help. I'm so confused. What do you want to do?" As usual, his anger began to bubble up. I felt like I could never get it right, no matter what. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm never right, never helpful, never useful, never loving enough, never enough. She did say he didn't know. Now she's saying he encouraged her. But in the picture, she says Aunt Ruth encouraged her. "Lauren, you can't just come in here and ask what my plan is," he said. "I don't know what my plan is. You expect me to know what my plan is? You're jumping the gun. You can't do that. It's not fair. I'm about to graduate soon, and I will figure it out then. Well, I trust that you will figure it out, I reassured him. I do trust you. It's just that graduation is 2 months away, and I want to be able to contribute. And I thought at least just considering Boise would be helpful and give us some options. Do you not really see any benefit in this? I don't want our marriage to be on the line. The usual silence. There was never any real communication between us unless he was in control. No communication that did not benefit him somehow and put him in charge. I felt so useless no matter how hard I tried. Although my excitement was dampened, I shared with my Aunt Ruth Ann the news. Ruth Ann. Oh my God. Lauren, I'm so embarrassed for you. LOL. Okay, so Lauren's in the blue. Aunt Ruth Ann is in the gray. Lauren starts out with sharing a text in her book, published to the world. LOL. I'm popping my anxiety pills tonight. Boise called, by the way. Said they're offering me the job tomorrow. So now we've had a Xanax, and now I'm popping my anti-anxiety pills tonight. Aunt Ruth Ann. What? You have to call me soon. Emphasize as soon as they have talked to you. What?
For making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
What? You have to call me as soon, emphasize as soon as they have talked to you and accept the deal. Thank you, Flo. Snoozy cooter fee. Oh, you're late because you were snoozing? Tell Sin I'm on Porta Potty Detail in Cooterville. She deserves a break. All right. If you're willingly taking it on, Flo, I'd never put that on you. Later that night, I talked to Ruth Ann after he left to go study. He said he doesn't want me to go. He tells me that I'm leaving him, even though I don't know if I'll have a home in 2 months. Did you just tell them it would be temporary? She said. I mean, this would be a really big benefit to you both, and he should be able to see how it could really open up some great doors for your future. And Lauren, shouldn't he want you to be able to do what you love, especially if he has no plans? Shouldn't he support your dreams and aspirations too? Why is it always about him? It's beyond selfish. I'm so tired of this for you. It feels frustrating, I said. He just keeps telling me I'm leaving him. I keep telling him I'm not. When I ask what the alternative plan might be, he gets angry, then silent. As usual, he just refuses to have any meaningful dialogue about our plans or future.
For making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
If he is not giving you any other options, you've got to take care of yourself. You have no money and you can't keep relying on other people. You'll always be disappointed if you do that. I know. I've done that in the past. Your life is up to you. Thank you, Pines, for your super chat. Pines says, finish the damn thank you notes without needing someone to hold your hand, Wowen. That's a great way to help. Thank you, Pines. Tell Boise you'll accept the job. Don't be foolish, Lauren. He's trying to control you. You need a job if you're going to survive. If you need a job, you need a job. This is common sense. He should support your dreams too. If you can't do that, then I don't know why you're even in this marriage. Please take care of yourself right now. But he keeps threatening our marriage, Ruth Ann. I don't know what to do. Ruth Ann says, threatening your marriage is no way to discuss a perfectly wonderful job opportunity that will benefit both of you, especially when he has no plans and no job. This situation is making me so angry. She continued, I had to learn some hard lessons when I was your age and in a bad marriage just like you. No man will ever save you, and no man should have so much power over your life. No one else is going to save you. Your life is yours. So if he doesn't have a plan, it's up to you to make one. I suggest you take the job and run. Ruth Ann was correct. A wise counselor if I ever needed one. I took the job. He stopped talking to me for days. But by now, I was used to it. In the end, however, I had some regrets. When what I desired above anything was to feel loved and safe and figure out our plans together. I was still somehow clinging to this absurd hope. How many times did I need to be belittled before I finally believed that maybe this marriage would never work? He made me feel so guilty and ashamed of following my dreams I thought could benefit our marriage. Is that right, Lucky Rabbit? I went to lunch with my girls in Boston, and they seemed just as confused as me. He tells me I'm leaving him, but I don't want to leave him. He keeps saying if you leave, our marriage is over. Lauren, you just spent the past year supporting him in school. Why would he not give you the same respect in return? Does he have a job lined up somewhere? Is that why he's being so difficult? No job, I said, and no plans, no money, and we're getting in some big debts. I don't even know where else I'd go. My best girlfriends in Boston stated the obvious. You need to take that job. You have no choice. If he refuses to support you without any alternative plans, that's his problem. I now know what was happening. This was a classic abuse tactic, sometimes called a double bind. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. A lose-lose situation. Get a job, make money. Don't take that job. If you go, our marriage won't survive. If you stay, I have no place for you to go. You are a bad wife if you leave me, and you are leaving me. I refuse to discuss any other plans or options. I was going insane with the manipulation. I felt guilt, shame, confusion, frustration. I would ask and ask what other options we had. Silence. Always silence. Then she's got the definition of this double bind. I'm not reading it because it's obnoxious. 2 weeks before my move to Boise, our bishop requested that we meet with him when he discovered I was moving. He was concerned about the fragile state of our marriage. I shared with the bishop that I wanted the marriage to work. I told him, as soon as my husband had a job, I would quit and live with my husband. See, I could never be Mormon because I can't have no bishops getting in my business, right? Like, I don't need a bishop knowing what's going on in my fucking house and confronting me about it. Can you imagine that, though? I mean, I'm sure that's normal for them or whatever. I don't know if this is even true, to be honest. But I wouldn't like that. John had a dating profile? I don't think I've ever seen that. All right. Where were we? I explained the importance of the job in Boise, and I could quit at any time if my husband found a job, and how this seemed like a good opportunity in the interim. The bishop looked at my husband, and I'll never forget this. Do you have plans after graduation? The bishop asked my husband. Yes, of course, he said. I'm going to move to Arizona directly after graduation. I am going to work for some businesses who need me to raise money. I was stunned. I had never heard a word of these plans, no matter how many times I asked. He had never told me about these plans about Arizona until this moment. Were the plans true? And he was withholding them from me? Were they a facade and absolutely false? I didn't know. I just knew every bit of this revelation to the bishop was information I never heard. Maybe he was just wanting her to trust him as her husband. Maybe that's what happened. And maybe she wasn't trusting him as her husband to take care of things after he graduated. I mean, he sounds pretty determined that he went to an Ivy League school and like was ready to graduate. I'm sure he wasn't planning on being lazy. I told the bishop I had never heard those plans. The bishop told my husband he should share his plans with me. My husband said he understood and he agreed. We walked out the door, and I could tell he was angry. It was the silent treatment the whole way home and into the night. I was getting used to it. When I woke the next morning, I was greeted with silence again. I knew without question what I needed to do at that point. I needed to take that job in Boise. Ruth Ann was correct. I could not trust a man who never shared anything with me and who could so blatantly lie when the right circumstance called for it. He never did go to Arizona, but that moment required him to have plans, so he had some. That could be, really. I learned such a valuable lesson in that moment. My gut, my heart, my soul, my mind all validated my decision to take the job. No regrets at all. The way I felt in that moment will never be forgotten. The tranquility, the contentment, the prayers to my God, everything told me my decision was right. There was no way in hell I wasn't taking that job. Again, my aunt was correct. I can still hear her now, as always. A sweet voice in my sometimes chaotic mind. Lauren, you are so strong. You are so smart. You are your own person. Be yourself always and never let someone try to diminish who you are. Never let someone diminish your soul. Stay true to yourself and your small, still voice. You are always enough. You are wonderful. And I say to you, to anyone who has ever been diminished or belittled or dismissed, stay strong. Stay true. Never give up. Never let go of who you are. Coming from someone who never found who they were. Who are these people? Here's Aunt Ruth Ann and Lauren in Alaska. 2009. Hold on, let's zoom in on this. 2009. What kind of flag is that? There's Aunt Ruth Ann and Walwyn in happier days. She stated it was a past connection that got her the job, actually. But who knows how much of this is even true? What kind of flag is that, though? Is that a Mormon thingy? I don't know what that is. Lists for my life. Oh, that's the Alaskan flag? Oh, never seen it before. It has the Big Dipper on it. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen the Alaskan flag. That's weird. Sorry about that. Okay, so now she's wearing a shirt that says being and nothingness. And she took a picture of herself in the car. She broke her own heart holding on to him. And then it says, if someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Bing bang.
Good advice, Walwyn. Good advice. All right, we're on page 80 officially. We are not going to get through this all in one stream. I had felt peace and conviction in my decision to leave for Boise. But despite that peace, I allowed regret and questioning to seep into my mind. I simply wanted to be loved and feel safe more than anything. Even as Boise was waiting for me, the afternoon before my flight, I sat with my husband and I told him I wanted to stay with him. After hearing over and over, God, she's going to cry again, I guarantee it. After hearing over and over that I took the job that I was leaving him, I told him once again that our marriage meant more than work or career, and I didn't want to leave if we could figure out another option. He looked at me and said without hesitation, "Lauren, you need to go. It'll just be temporarily until I get a job, but you need to go." Despite his past repeated blame that I was leaving him, I left for Boise the next morning with his blessing. I was confused and pained by the constant manipulations. Go, stay. Go, stay, go. Did I even know this man? Did he even know himself? How many times did I need to be shown? How many times did I have to believe in the facade of the man I fell in love with before I understood that man never existed and never would? How many times did I need to believe in the fantasy of my marriage getting better when it was really only getting worse? How many times did I need to feel empathy for a man who never showed any empathy towards me? How many times did I need to believe and trust his words before I realized his words were empty? They were nothing. Why could I not see? Why? Growing up, it had been drilled in my head over and over and over that you fight to keep a marriage alive, that you choose your love, and then you love that choice no matter what. Marriage is serious, and you stand by your commitments. I had heard so many times that if your spouse loves the Lord and you love the Lord, then any marriage can work. I'd heard people telling me marriage is hard. I'd never been married. So was this normal? Is this what they meant? Is it really this hard? I had been told that my grandma was a brave, strong woman because she stayed married to my grandpa, who had a short temper and could be cruel. I heard people praise the martyrs, women who stayed with difficult men. They were tough. They were saintly. Was that my task in life? To stay with a cruel man? To sacrifice myself for someone? Was I supposed to be that brave, strong martyr? I went online and I saw a friend had posted a meme with a quote about marriage along the lines of, if something is broken, you fix it. You don't throw it away. That is what I used to naively think. How I hate those quotes now. They cause me such conflict and confusion. How would I know when something was broken, it could never be fixed? When would the time come that I would finally realize that two people loving the Lord wasn't enough for a healthy, happy marriage? How would I know that marriage was not supposed to be this hard? All of those questions led me to desperately seek an answer. Although my marriage was too confusing and dark of a place for me to blog regularly, I kept keeping private notes on my phone. I did so for my own sanity and to remember my thoughts and feelings as I went through this process of questioning my marriage. Yeah, her parents are divorced because her dad is remarried. Because stepmom's in the Rico. And she has the bended human or whatever, healing, where she does psychedelics and shit. One moment I knew I had to leave, but the next moment I'd receive some calculated kindness from him. A small tidbit of kindness, just enough to make me question if things were getting better. One moment, he'd be blaming me for everything that was wrong in our relationship. The next moment, he needed me, loved me, couldn't live without me. I would feel sorry for him in those moments. He really got me to believe I was making improvements, or he was making improvements. Still, I would record those thoughts, feelings, and events on my phone notes to read, sort out, and look back on when I questioned myself and my feelings from day to day. I needed this anchor to ground my thoughts and maintain some sanity. I needed to listen to my wounds. Here are some of those journal entries from my phone as I read them years ago. All right, before I get into reading these, I'm going to give you guys an update. We are on page 93 of 296. Her younger sister was adopted, actually, Kalisa. She has a younger sister that was adopted. I think she was like 11 when she was adopted from another country. I don't remember what country now. China? China. I think it was China. I think I got that right. Her younger sister was adopted at age 11 from China. I don't know if it's from the second wife, though. I thought it was her parents, Jameis, and the mom. Maybe someone in here knows. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to read all this today, you guys. I'm going to go up to like page 100. Or something like that, because it's just, ugh. Okay, so let's read her journal entries from her phone. December 13th, 2013. I know I am worth more than this. I know I can make someone happy. That I have special gifts and talents that someone will love. I know someone could compliment me and lift me up. This is like no self-esteem here. Instead of putting me down all the time, I know someone could pay more attention to what I did right than what I do wrong. I know someone could love my imperfections or not find as many. I know someone could listen to me, and I would listen to him. We would converse and understand each other. I know someone wouldn't always blame me. Do we need like the Jack Handy music? Thank you notes music? Christ. I know I could show someone I love them and feel their attention and gratitude. I know someone could be aware and attentive. Someone could realize just how attentive I am, how hard I try. I know someone could cherish me. I know someone could praise me and I him. I know someone could think I'm beautiful inside and out. I know someone could be my best friend. We could lift each other up. This is so pathetic. I know God would want me to raise children with a good man. Someone who wanted to have children with me. I know someone could appreciate what I appreciate in myself. My attentive ways. How I try to make others feel good. My love of people. My brain. My work ethic. My feelings and emotions, my positive way with children, my positivity and gratitude, my love of Christ. I know someone could listen to me and I him. We could converse and understand each other. I know someone wouldn't blame me always. And why did I not believe in myself? Believe myself. December 18th, 2013. You know today, Lauren, now 12/18/13, how bad you feel. He doesn't know how to love you, and it will not change. You have tried. You have given him many chances. He cannot love you for who you are and doesn't. He never will. He seeks out your faults and gives you love out in small measurements. He does not compliment you. He threatens divorce because he is unsure of you. He does not put his arm around you. He does not comfort you. He does not think you're worth it. He doesn't want your children. He can't imagine raising children with you. You don't make him happy. He doesn't cherish you. Leave. It's okay to leave. God will place a better man in your life. You can live much more of your potential with a more stable, supportive, and loving husband. Why did I not believe in myself? How many times did I have to remind myself that I was worth so much more than I was receiving from my partner, from my husband? I wrote the poem below. Oh, we've got a poem. On 9/13, just before I left Boston the first time, I had followed this poem through with the strong and powerful choice to leave, only to be convinced and come back. Why? I knew how wrong it felt. I knew the depths of my wounds. Oh my God, we have a screen grab. Look. Straight from the notes of her iPhone. A heart full, thick, and damaged. She wrote this at 5:56 a.m. Confusion poisons its delights and laughter. The batter more tart, repugnant, drips. Against a beautiful city, a breath of new life awaits, but the poison too strong. The stench too powerful. The vision is tainted. She cannot see because a heart full, thick, and damaged. A choice to be made, a strong and powerful choice. I wish then I fully understood this incredibly powerful quote by Maya Angelou. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. The first insult, the first push, the first belittling comment, the first refusal to go, the first denial, the first dismissal of my perspective, the first boundary crossing, the first negation. I should have believed it. I hope you will believe it. Nothing will change. Leave the first time. Don't ever believe the lies, the facade, the manipulation. I wish I had believed him the first time he showed me he was incapable of love. This entry was written in July 2013. Only 4 months after our marriage. I feel defeated. I feel sad all the time. I don't feel in control of my life. I don't feel passionate when I wake. I want to feel cherished, adored, and loved. I am not. This journal entry in 2013, only 3 months of marriage. So many concerns already. He yells at me. I don't feel beautiful. He's stopped complimenting me since marriage, even if I tell him that compliments feel good. I feel he has unrealistic expectations of me that can never be met. What, like cooking and cleaning? I feel constantly criticized, faulted. I feel I can't finish a sentence without him criticizing me. UNAV, welcome to Cooterville. Thank you for joining today. Come on in and close your legs. I feel alone. I feel it's always a battle of who's right and who's wrong. Not just understanding each other. I feel he always has to have the floor and win every argument. And there are many. I don't feel appreciated my strengths or gifts. I feel he withholds affection. I feel he puts me down instead of lifting me up. What do I do? How many times did I need to remind myself? Why did I not believe it? It was so clear. Believe it the first time. Can you imagine? 3 months after marriage. Okay. The journal entry below was written 3 weeks before our wedding. Yes, before. Can't say there weren't red flags. I can't say it was perfect and beautiful until the moment we wed. Although it got much worse after the wedding, there were warning signs before. There were breakups, there were apologies, there were fighting, admonishments, and problems. None of this was acceptable, but he would always beg me to take him back after we would fight and break up. He'd be sitting outside my house while I was on a date, waiting for me to come home, begging for me to forgive him, and I'd feel sorry for him. I mistook his constant begging and attention for love. But then, when there were issues, I'd find myself having empathy for him, empathy for his commitment issues, empathy for his abandonment issues, empathy for his being single for too long issues. That sounds like her fucking issues right there. Empathy for his commitment issues, abandonment issues, and being single for too long. Okay, talking about yourself? Empathy for having too much freedom as a kid issues. Is that you too, Lauren? Were you ignored? How many issues did I have to forgive and overlook? Why did I refuse to let go of the man that I thought I fell in love with, despite him showing me who he really was over and over and over? Why didn't I believe him the first time? Okay, here's the entry a few weeks before the wedding. March 3rd, 2013. A few weeks before our wedding, what I want in a man: loves me just the way I am, intelligent, appreciates me for me, likes to be in my presence and talk with me, healthy communicator, listens to me, doesn't yell at me, holds my hand when we drive, selfless, big bear hugs. Well, she got those with John. That's probably why she threw that in there. Holds me tight when I cry. Compromiser. Manly, but humble. Respects me. Loves how spiritual I am. Wants to help make the world a better place. Realizes his potential. Allows me to just be me. Loves my quirks. Appreciates my love for others. Appreciates my kindness. Doesn't take advantage of my kindness. Simply loves being in my presence. Her presence. Stop it, Lauren. You did? You emailed me Dr. John's dating thing? Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. If you guys want to email me anything, I'm going to go ahead and put the email in the chat. You guys can do that too. If you want to email me, just put !email and it'll pop right up. Thank you, Penny, for being here. Book comes with bonus bottle of meds and referral to the tongue guy. Oh, boy. Okay. Romantic. Honors me. Puts me first. And loves me more than his friends, his job, and our children. Now, I know that's the biblical way, like God first, then spouse, then children or whatever. But man, simply loves being in my presence and puts me before anything and everything. I will. I'm going to pull up the profile. Don't worry. We'll read it before we end today. Let me get it pulled up so I don't forget, because I do. I forget. Hang on. I want to have it here so I don't forget. Oh, thank you, Monty, for buying me a coffee. Thank you. Thank you so much. Connie, thank you for the coffees as well. Amazing. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. All right, we're going to get John's thing. I mean, she's high maintenance. I mean, that guy could never live up to her expectations. I don't know many men that could. That's probably why she's with John. Because she married down. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, I have so many emails. Okay. Proceed with caution. It comes from her book. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely. Oh shit, we'll read it. It's actually in the book, but we probably won't get to it because it's page. I don't know what page it is. Oh, this is going to be weird. Okay, so we'll finish this chapter. Oh my God, she has alpacas. Remember the alpaca person or llama in her chat? We'll read this chapter, then we'll go over John's dating site. And I don't think John seems sweet at all, Lotus Flower. I do not get the sweetness from John. Mm-mm. This is what I deeply wanted. In reading back, I realized the truth. I wrote the list because I was fearful. This was not the man I was about to marry. I wanted him to be this man, but my gut was telling me otherwise. Why didn't I believe it? At 33 years old, with more dates under my belt than I had ever imagined. This was the list I didn't think was ever going to be possible for me. I simply did not believe this specific man existed or did exist. I must not deserve him. Other women did, but not me. So I settled because I loved him, and I hoped for the best. Never settle in life or love for anything. You are better than settling. You deserve love. Be patient, and love will find if you persist. No, I think Dr. John's creepy. That's just my opinion, though. And anyone fighting the battle of questions and confusion, no matter what others say, no matter what advice you're given, no matter what lessons on marriage you were given as a child, this is what matters the most. Your feelings, your intuition, your inner voice. Those matter most. How does he make you feel? How do you feel about yourself when you're around him? Your feelings and intuition will never lead you astray. They are the very essence of who you are in your core. Don't ever doubt the way you feel. Don't ever doubt how he makes you feel. Listen with your whole heart to those feelings and intuitions. Believe them with your whole heart too. Make no excuses when someone shows you who they are. Believe them the first time. And know what you're looking for if you have your own lists. Don't ever give up on your dreams. I remember her talking to the Mormon Stories, Mindy, about them having lists of what they wanted in a future husband. And it seems to me like that is like kind of common in this Mormon thing. Because Mindy said she was a teenager making a list of what she wanted in a husband. There you go, Rom. I wish I had listened to that inner voice from my journal entries that kept telling me to tightly shut the door and then lock it. The voice was correct. It always is. I just happened to question my own voice and intuition, and I paid the price. It doesn't matter who a man is or what he does, but how you feel about you when you're with him. Rory Ray. After leaving Boston for the second time, my plane landed in Salt Lake City. Welcome home. It was the weekend after Easter of 2014. I then made the drive to Boise. I was nervous. I was alone and scared. I thought Boise would be my home for the next 2 months. I didn't realize it would be home for the next 2 years. Welcome to the middle of nowhere. Taken on my drive from Salt Lake to Boise as I stopped for gas in a small town. Okay, so we finished that. We're at page 94. I think we're going to stop the book here. We'll start again in the next stream with her starting at Boise. And this is her on the set. But we're going to read through Dr. John's by demand. You guys want me to read this? We will. Let me pull it up. Let me fix this. Thank you, Jessica, for subbing up. Penny Farthen coming in hot with 10 cooter ships. Thank you so much, Penny.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita.
If you guys just got a cooter ship, give great thanks to Penny. Thank you for that. We have so many new cooters. It's so exciting. Okay, so this excerpt is from the book. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I can't read this. All right, that's better. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to read the dating profiles part. John Matthias, dating profile. Okay, here we go. When I was a child around age 7, I developed a fascination with Batman. I donned a black cape. Sorry, no tights. And set about helping the animals in the neighborhood. While I wasn't fighting sociopaths in Gotham City, I figured the next best option was to assist animals in need. You could find me climbing and jumping from trees with furry creatures in hand. What did he do with animals at a young age? Is this like Dama? Is this Dama? No, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. Jeffrey Dama. Or searching the nearby creek for frogs and turtles that needed help to survive. Animals in nature don't need to be rescued. This is weird. He was rescuing cooters, turtles. One day I learned that an injured cat had taken refuge on the roof. I threw on my black cape and climbed onto the roof. I found the cat and safely assisted her to the ground. When I jumped, I shattered my arm and in my would-be career of a superhero along with it. Nowadays, you won't find me climbing and jumping from trees to save cats. But you will find me rappelling into canyons. No cape or tights, but a wetsuit is close. And helping others in my work. I learned a few valuable lessons from my Batman saga. Challenge yourself for constant growth and seek to do good by helping others. I found the Batman story compelling when growing up because I could relate to a childhood shaped by trauma. I'll spare you the details, but we'll be happy to share my story when we meet for coffee. I'm no superhero, but I've cultivated a few superpowers over the years that include curiosity, compassion, and tenacity. I have also learned that our greatest adventures often begin in our inner worlds, which, ironically, can become our worst enemies through the creation of fear. Here are some of my current adventures. Reading, lots of reading. Cultivating new ideas is always a great adventure. One of my neighbors recently joked that he believed I drove a UPS truck because the UPS truck is so frequently parked in front of my home for Amazon deliveries. I volunteer on several local boards for organizations that support children's causes. I will be at the gym or hiking several times a week. You'll also find me spending time with friends and family. I meet with my father for breakfast every Tuesday before work. And I'm sure that we've solved most of the world's problems by now. And I like to laugh and play a lot. And I mean a lot. My friends have described my sense of humor as a blend between the wit and sarcasm of Jon Stewart and Ricky Gervais. Life is short. Why take it too seriously? As for you, you will be my partner. The Batwoman to my Batman. You will have cultivated a few superpowers over the years, including grit, compassion, and self-awareness. You live your life with purpose and have a vision for the future. You are independent, smart, witty, and passionate about what matters most to you. You can challenge me and make my life better, as I will for you. You are playful, open, fun, and curious. I don't expect you to fly, but I'll put you in a swoon. Just kidding. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say there's a swing involved. But it would be nice if you never stopped trying. And fighting crime is a bonus. I think we all want to make a difference in this world. I hope that you do. Why would he put fighting crime? Fucking weird. As for us, let's create a sacred partnership, one based in a deep and abiding friendship and love between equals that brings us sanctuary, sizzle, and growth, and soul growth. What could be better than such a deep connection? I'll leave you with a secret. Please don't tell anyone. I think I just got low again. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. I'll leave you with a secret. Please don't tell anyone. I'm wearing underoos. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. Sometimes, on a rainy night in the desert, where the darkness stretches endlessly into the vast unknown, and the faint and sweet scent of sagebrush permeates the air, I'll slip on my Batman t-shirt before climbing into bed. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't. Fuck directly off. This is crazy. Stop.
I want this to be crystal clear.
I'll slip on my Batman t-shirt before climbing into bed. Lonely and tired. The t-shirt reminds me to live with a single-minded devotion to my life's purpose around making a difference.
Thank you for making it happen.
Just like the
Thank you.
caped crusader. I reach across the bed for you, but no one's there. The room is empty, the silence piercing. I call out your name, but no one answers. Where are you? Think about how different life might be if I reached out for your hand and you clasped my hand in return. The two of us, united as one, facing the world together to make a real difference. Now that would be heroic. Woo! So he was 7 being Batman and he wants to put the t-shirt on and get in bed with her. Hey, Ishi. I was worried about you, Ishi. I messaged you yesterday on Discord. I'm back again, hanging upside down from my bed to get blood flow back to my brain, just like the 9-hour live. Love you, Cooters. I hope you feel better, Ishi. Please message me back. Let me know how you're doing. She picked him because she could see he was lonely. I think anyone that makes a dating site this long, it's pretty clear they're lonely. I don't feel sad for him, though. I think he's weird. I think he's a little bit weird. But we have gone 3 hours and 28 minutes. We have left off on page... What page did we leave off on? 94. We're on Daring to Fly. We will pick this up again tomorrow, you guys. But for now, I'm going to sign off because I've got things to do. I got things to put together. Jay, you've got to read the Loinfire text between Chad and Lori. Oh, I've read those, but it's been a minute. Oh, that's a good question, idiot. Hiking? Yeah. In the gym?
And did you take the cat to the vet to help her heal and bring her in and nurture her? You shattered some bones, and was the cat traumatized by this jump and tumble?
Good question. Hey, Dr. John and Lauren, we want to follow up to these Batman, exposés you were on, whatever the hell you call it. Oh, that's Lauren, by the way. If you guys didn't see that picture, that's Lauren, a younger Lauren with her first husband. But now we're getting in the Cooter DeVille, and we will be